Yo, what is up everyone? I'm Carlos and we're Emerald Sauce, and welcome to the full series of our Dragon Ball Z What If? What if the remaining Saiyans were good? This full series contains all 12 parts of our Dragon Ball Z What If, and it's basically like a movie. Actually, it's more than a movie. I mean, look how long this is. I think this is like longer than Avengers Endgame. I mean, Jesus, look at that timestamp. But anyways, I don't want to keep y'all here with me just rambling about how long this video is. So I'll just let y'all watch it and enjoy it.
So this what if will start at the beginning of Z, and it will be with Raditz, Vegeta, and Nappa. The difference with this what if is that the remaining Saiyans only really care about taking Frieza out and avenging their race after hearing one of Frieza's soldiers talking about destroying planet Vegeta. Their evil intentions faded away after working for Frieza for a long time and hearing the truth of what Frieza did to their race and begin to make a plan to kill Frieza. They tried to make out a plan to take out Frieza, and Raditz brings out the fact that his younger brother is on Earth and they could go get him to help them take out Frieza. Vegeta thinks this might help them in the long run and agrees with this plan, which then they all destroy their scouters and flee to Earth, becoming MIA to Frieza's army. The three Saiyans arrive on Earth around the same time Raditz did in canon, and they all begin to search for Goku. It takes them a while to find Goku, since they can't sense his energy or use their scouters to find his location, since they destroyed them. The Saiyans end up finding Piccolo, and they all question him if he's seen Kakarot. Piccolo's anxious around them, since he's never seen someone this powerful before, but when they keep asking about Kakarot, he thinks they might be referring to Goku. Piccolo asks them why they are looking for him, and Nappa gets mad, telling Piccolo to just tell them where Goku is, or they'll kill him. Vegeta tells Nappa to calm down, and explains what they need Goku for. To Piccolo, also Vegeta does refer to Piccolo as a Namekian, and Piccolo is confused, but Vegeta says he'll explain it later. Piccolo accepts in taking them to Goku, and they all head to Kame House. Goku's at Kame House and introduces Gohan to everyone, when suddenly, he senses several high power levels heading towards his direction. He recognizes Piccolo's power level, but not these other three, and tells Gohan, as well as everyone else, to head inside the house. Piccolo, Raditz, Vegeta, and Nappa arrive, and they see Goku. They call him Kakarot, but Goku doesn't know what they're talking about, and asks who's Kakarot. Raditz goes up to Goku, and explains that he's his brother, and they're all aliens including Piccolo. Goku is shocked, as well as everyone in the Kame house who overheard their conversation. Raditz tells Goku that they need him to join them in taking out Frieza, before he finds them and destroys the planets. They also explain their past on what happened to them and their race. Goku believes he can trust them, as well as Piccolo, and Goku joins the group and trains to fight against Frieza. Everyone in Kame House thinks it's safe to come out, and Gohan rushes over to Goku, while Bulma hits on Vegeta. The Saiyans notice Gohan's tail and ask Goku who he is. Goku tells them that he's his son, and Vegeta thinks this is great, and they can train Gohan to help them against Frieza. Goku isn't sure about letting Gohan train with them, mainly because he thinks Chi-Chi wouldn't allow that, but Vegeta goes up to Goku and tells him that they could really use more power of a Saiyan on their side, and Vegeta thinks that Gohan could be really strong since he's a hybrid Saiyan. Goku says that he'll think about it, and also says that he has 4 other fighters who could possibly help them, and Vegeta looks at Nappa and Raditz. Vegeta say that they could join, but only the Saiyans will be allowed to fight Frieza. So Goku tells Krillin to get Yamcha, Tien, and Chaozu to meet them on Kami's lookout, as Goku calls for the Flying Nimbus, as he, Gohan, and the Saiyans plus Piccolo all head to the lookout. Raditz does go more in depth about the history of the Saiyans, and questions Goku on why he didn't erase this planet, and Goku explained that the incident he had when he was a kid, and also tells them that they could call him Goku, but they all say that they refer to him as a given Saiyan name. Vegeta also states that this reminds him that he also has a younger brother, but he has no clue about the planet he's on. Goku thinks about telling them about the Dragon Balls, but he keeps it a secret, just in case, because he isn't fully sure if he can trust them yet. They arrive at the lookout, and Goku greets Kami and explains everything to him, but Kami says that he already knows. Kami tells Goku that even though the past of these 3 Saiyans are evil, they have no intent to destroy Earth or betray him. Their only intent is to defeat Frieza. Goku asks Kami if he could let them all train at the lookout, and Kami does accept this, but not to destroy the lookout. Goku goes to everyone to say that they'll train here until they are strong enough to defeat Frieza. Vegeta then states that he knows Frieza's full power is around 500,000, and this shocks Goku, Piccolo, and then continues to say that he knows that Frieza has another form, which shocks everyone, even Raditz and Nappa. Goku then states that the first thing that needs to be done is that the Saiyans need to learn how to sense ki. Piccolo follows up with that they found him by sheer luck, and they had no clue where they were heading. So for the beginning of the training, Goku would help the Saiyans with sensing ki, while the Z Fighters would all train even with Piccolo and Gohan. After a month, the real training begins for Goku as he spars with the Saiyans, and Gohan joins as well. Raditz says that the Saiyans get stronger every time they almost experience death, and they will use that to make them strong quickly. Goku and Gohan are pushing their limits to the extreme when fighting the other Saiyans. During one day of training, Nappa realizes that Goku doesn't have his tail, and asks why is it not there, and Goku explains that it was cut off as Nappa is shocked. Vegeta then gut punches Goku so hard that his tail grows back, and this scares the humans and Kami that Goku's tail grows back, but then they also get a realization that the Saiyans also have their tails. Goku then asks what this tail is for, as Raditz explains their great ape transformation, and with this info, Goku puts the pieces together to realize that he was the one that killed his grandpa, and this saddens him a bit. But Raditz puts his hand on Goku's shoulder, telling him that they will not have to worry, because they will train him to control that power. After a year has passed, here are the power levels the humans range between 800 to 1500, Piccolo being at 2500, Gohan at 5000, Goku being at 10,000, Raditz at 11,000, Nappa at 14,000, and Vegeta at 25,000. Vegeta didn't get a big increase because no one was a good training partner for him because of the power difference. The humans and Piccolo didn't get a high power level because they didn't get much sparring with the Saiyans throughout this year. Vegeta says that it's been a year and their power levels aren't near enough to kill Frieza, and this angers him. Goku asks Kami if there's any way they can get stronger faster, and Kami says that there's only one option, which will be King Kai. Kami explains about King Kai and says that he can only take two of them, and one of them has to be dead, so without a question, Goku has to be the one to go, and be the dead one, since he can't be brought back. Vegeta asks how would this be possible, and Goku apologizes for keeping this a secret, but he talks about the Dragon Balls, and this info shocks the Saiyans, and Nappa asks them where they are loudly, but Vegeta tells Nappa to be quiet. The plan is that him and Goku will go to King Kai to train over there, and Nappa or Raditz would cause any trouble while he's gone. Goku does ask the two Saiyans that are staying behind to train the others so they can catch up in strength. Kami asks how will Goku pass, as Vegeta just blasts a hole into Goku, getting the deed done, as they leave. They meet with Goku at King Yama's checkout room, and Kami explains that they need to see King Kai, and Yama accepts this reluctantly. So Goku and Vegeta start their way to King Kai. Kami returns and asks Krillin to collect the Dragon Balls, to have it ready to bring back Goku in a year. So for this second year of training, it's Goku and Vegeta training at King Kai's place, learning Kaioken and the Spirit Bomb. When they arrive at this planet, Goku wasn't ready for the gravity change, while Vegeta thinks it was too light, since he's handling stronger gravity. So it was more of a challenge for Goku, rather than Vegeta, to handle the gravity. On Earth, Nappa would spar with the humans, while Raditz trains with Piccolo and his nephew Gohan, and Raditz can sense a big power hidden inside Gohan, and wants him to let it out. Nappa yells at the humans to try harder to become stronger, as he easily is able to handle all four of them, as Raditz scoffs on how loud Nappa is while he trains Gohan and Piccolo. Raditz did ask Gohan if he would like to train his great ape form, and Gohan excitedly says yes. At this point, Gohan is happy that he has an uncle in his family, and accepts Raditz as his uncle. Their bond at this moment is close, and this changes Raditz a bit, liking his new planet as a future home for him after they defeat Frieza. The year has passed, and they revive Goku, and at that point, Goku and Vegeta finish their training with King Kai, and they head off. While flying back, Vegeta asks Goku if there are any other ways for them to train. Goku then gets the idea to ask Bulma if she can make a gravity chamber for them, and there's also a room where time is slower, and they could train there as well, and Vegeta likes this. Vegeta also says that he's impressed with Goku's growth, as he is almost to Vegeta's strength, and Vegeta says after all of this, that they definitely need to fight to see who is the stronger one, and Goku says he's looking forward to this. Vegeta also says that there was something he was keeping from Goku, as well as Goku questions what it was, and Vegeta talks about the legend of the Super Saiyan, and explains the legend and tells Goku that that was the reason why Frieza destroyed the planet, because he was afraid of the true power of the Saiyans. Goku then states that since Vegeta is now technically the king of the remaining Saiyans, Goku believes that if any of them were to go Super Saiyan, he believes it will be Vegeta, as Goku smiles. Back on Earth, Raditz and Gohan train together, further strengthening their bond, while Nappa is having more fun with sparring with the humans and Piccolo, and they actually put up more of a fight to him. The power levels are now this: Vegeta at 35,000, Goku at 33,000, Nappa at 18,000, Raditz at 17,000, Gohan at 9,000, and Piccolo at 8,000, and the humans range from 6,000 to 7,000. Goku and Vegeta arrive back happy to see everyone, but Goku does ask for Gohan and Vegeta to come with him, as they do have some errands to do. First thing is that Goku and Gohan head back home to tell Chi-Chi what they've been doing, and Chi-Chi is absolutely furious with Goku, being gone for 2 years, and taking their son to train to fight aliens as Vegeta tries to slide away from the screaming lady. She says that Gohan would stay and study, but Gohan defends himself, saying that he has to help them. Plus, he's been training with his uncle, and Chi-Chi gets confused because she doesn't have a brother, but Goku explains that he's actually an alien from space, and his brother and some of his friends came to ask him for help to find and defeat a space emperor. This news completely shocks Chi-Chi and makes her faint, so Goku and the others head to Capsule Corp and they bring Chi-Chi with them. They arrive asking Bulma about the gravity chamber, and Bulma says that she can do it, but she will need someone to help them with the heavy things, while looking directly at Vegeta and ask him if he can stay to help out, and Vegeta scoffs at this, but agrees. Goku does ask Bulma if she could allow Chi-Chi to stay here, so she can have company, and Bulma does take Chi-Chi in. Before Goku and Gohan leave, Goku tells Vegeta that if he gets any news about the hyperbolic time chamber, he will tell him, so they can go train there. Goku and Gohan arrive back at Kami's lookout, and Nappa asks where is Vegeta, and Goku says that he's helping build a chamber that will help them train, so Goku would also join Raditz and Gohan using the ape form, and Goku would teach everyone the Kaioken. 4 months pass, and Vegeta heads to the lookout and tells Goku that the chamber is ready, as Vegeta, Goku, and Gohan head to Capsule Corp. Before they leave, he tells Nappa and Raditz that they could use the hyperbolic time chamber to train, and explains that one day in the outside world is 1 year in there. And Goku tells the Z-Fighters that they should also plan on using it as Goku leaves. So for the next 8 months, Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan all train in the gravity chamber, while the others use the hyperbolic time chamber. During the end of the year, Vegeta brings up the conversation of the Dragon Balls and asks Goku if they could use it to bring any surviving Saiyans to Earth, so they can have more fighters. Goku asks if that's necessary, and Vegeta says that the Frieza's army is huge, and bringing back the Saiyans couldn't be so bad. So Goku then tells Vegeta to get ready, and they'll go find the Dragon Balls, while Gohan continued training. The power levels are Vegeta at Jesus. Pause. The power levels are Vegeta at 450,000, Goku at 440,000, and Gohan at 300,000. Their power level became really high since they trained every single day on the gravity chamber. They gather all the Dragon Balls and summon Shenron at Capsule Corp, and Goku asks if he can bring any remaining Saiyans to Earth, and Shenron grants the wish, and 3 Saiyans appear. Vegeta's younger brother Tarbles, and a Saiyan a bit older than Nappa wearing the short uniform, and another Saiyan wearing a green fur around his waist, and this Saiyan in particular has a power level of 200,000. They introduce themselves to the 3 Saiyans, and everyone recognizes Vegeta. Tarbles is happy to see his brother, and even asks how he got so strong, but Vegeta destroys Tarbles' scouter and explains their plan to kill Frieza. Paragus calls them crazy about the idea, but Vegeta explains that they have been doing the past 3 years, and he also asks Paragus and his story. Paragus explains that King Vegeta outcast his son Broly, because when he was born, he was stronger than Prince Vegeta. Goku looks sad about this, and hearing this about his race, and Vegeta also feels really bad about this, as he apologizes for his father's actions, and that he will do whatever he can to earn the forgiveness of Paragus, and this completely shocks Paragus, seeing the prince act like this, and he questions himself of wanting to get his revenge. But Paragus asks what happened to the king, as Vegeta explains that he was killed by Frieza, but Frieza destroyed the planet Vegeta, and this news also shocks Paragus. But then Chi-Chi, having a bit of a big stomach, Gohan, and Bulma comes out, and Bulma is holding a baby Trunks. Yes, Trunks is born earlier because of the time Vegeta and Bulma spent together, and yes, Chi-Chi is pregnant with Goten. Goku tells everyone that they have people training to be ready to fight Frieza, and this army in Paragus gets a little hope, so all the Saiyans head out but Gohan stays behind as they head to Kami's lookout. Out in space, a Frieza soldier says to Frieza that they'll be arriving at the signal to the 3 space pods that landed on Earth in around a week. Frieza then laughs and smiles as Zarbon, Dodoria, and the entire Ginyu Force are behind him. But it's not only them. Frieza brought his entire army to kill Vegeta and the rest of the remaining Saiyan race. Goku and Vegeta are at the lookout, telling Raditz and Nappa where to head for the gravity chamber. As they head off, also meeting the new Saiyans. Goku and Vegeta are wanting to go to the time chamber, but they have to wait a bit since Yamcha and Tien just went in, and Piccolo and Krillin plan to go for 2 days straight. Goku does introduce their new guests Broly, Paragus, and Tarbles. Goku does ask if Broly wants to spar, but Paragus screams no. Goku is confused on why Paragus whispers to Goku and Vegeta that Broly could lose control and cause major damage, and they take notice of this. Vegeta walks up to his little brother and starts fighting him, telling Tarbles that he has to be way stronger than that to be of any help. While they are doing all that, back at Capsule Corp, Raditz and Nappa are dumbfounded on Gohan's power level being leagues above himself. For the power levels of everyone else we haven't started back in part 1, here they are. Nappa at 115,000, Raditz at 110,000, Piccolo at 80,000, Tarbles at 60,000, Paragus at 45,000, Krillin at 30,000, Tien at 28,000, Yamcha at 25,000, and Chaozu at 20,000. Raditz is proud of Gohan and proud to call him family, but Nappa asks how he got this strong in 8 months, and Gohan explains that him, his dad, and Vegeta trained really hard every single day, and they went up to 200 times normal gravity, and this leaves their expression frozen that a kid could handle that much. Gohan says he would like to join them in training, and the 3 begin to start training. A day passes, and Tien and Yamcha's power levels are now this. Tien at 40,000 and Yamcha at 35,000. Then 2 days pass, and Krillin and Piccolo's power level is now this. Piccolo at 110,000 and Krillin at 70,000. Then finally, Goku and Vegeta are about to go in, but they ask if Mr. Popo could put more food, since they're going to bring Broly with them, as well, as Mr. Popo does. They head into the time chamber together, and Goku explains to Broly that they're going to focus on making him able to control his anger and power as they begin to spar Broly. Around 20 hours pass outside the chamber, and Raditz and Nappa head back to the lookout. Also, their power levels are this: Gohan at 330,000, Nappa at 200,000, and Raditz at 190,000. They arrive at the lookout to learn that Goku, Vegeta, and Broly still have another 4 hours to go through, but then all the Z fighters there sense multiple power levels, and Raditz believes that it's Frieza, that he brought his entire army. Everyone starts to get nervous, and Raditz tries to get Goku, Vegeta, and Broly out, but Mr. Popo stops him, saying they can't go out until their 4 hours are up. And this worries everyone, but Raditz swallows his fear and tells everyone to get ready, saying that this is what they've been training for the last 3 years, telling everyone to get ready. At Capsule Corp, Gohan also senses this while he is holding baby Trunks. He rushes over to his mother and Bulma, warning them that Frieza has arrived. He hands over baby Trunks to Bulma, saying he's gonna go help since he's the strongest in the group, besides his father and Vegeta. He tells them to get somewhere safe as he leaves. Frieza's men ask him if he just wants to blow it up, but Frieza says no, saying that won't be any fun as he kills the soldier. Another one arrives and lands the ship on the planet. The Z fighters see the ship far away and they begin to head over there. Krillin says he'll quickly go get a sensu bean for them as the others fly to the ship. Gohan can see the ship from afar, but he cannot sense his dad or Vegeta or Broly's ki, so he's a bit worried that they are still in the time chamber. Now he knows he's the best defense the Earth's currently got for being the strongest in the group. Frieza lands and tells his entire army to go out, which also includes Zarbon, Dodoria, and the Ginyu Force. The Z fighters arrive to see the huge army and get nervous, but Raditz says that the humans and the Mechians will handle the normal soldiers, while the Saiyans will handle the Ginyu Force. Zarbon, and Dodoria. Yamcha, Tien, Chaozu, Krillin, and Piccolo all fight the soldiers and grow confident, thinking that it's too easy fighting all of them, since they're so weak. Raditz and Nappa say they'll handle the Ginyu Force, while Tarbles gets Zarbon and Paragus handles Dodoria. Tarbles faces up with Zarbon, but he suppresses his full power to trick Zarbon as Tarbles gets the upper hand, beating on Zarbon, but then Zarbon transforms, and Tarbles gets worried, but he soon realizes that Zarbon is nothing compared to him. Paragus is going against Dodoria. Even though he is around his 50s, he is still in his prime to fight, and still has a strong power level than Dodoria. Dodoria sees that he cannot win this fight, and he offers a deal to Paragus to join Frieza, and this makes him hesitate. But Paragus smiles and says no as he punches Dodoria square in the stomach, killing Dodoria in the spot. Raditz and Nappa are having fun against the Ginyu Force, and are easily beating them without effort. Ginyu and Jace are the only ones left, and Jace is worried, asking his captain what are they going to do, but Nappa has Jace away, and he starts pummeling him into the ground. Raditz stands in front of Ginyu with a smile, saying that he is no match for him, and saying that he shouldn't try his body-switching technique. Ginyu is lost for words, not knowing what he could do, as Raditz just blasts a hole through Ginyu's chest. Frieza senses that his strong lackeys are all down, and he is furious as he gets out of his spaceship. Raditz senses this and heads to Frieza. Without a second thought, Raditz kicks Frieza right in the face, sending Frieza into the ship as Frieza gets angry and powers up. Raditz knows he cannot beat Frieza, so he uses Kaioken times 3 to put up more of a fight. Nappa finishes off Jace and is about to go help Raditz, but then a bunch of Frieza's soldiers start ganging up on Nappa, so he can't help Raditz out. The humans and Piccolo are handling a lot of the soldiers, but they are starting to wear out from fighting a lot, and them and Paragus and Tarbles both are now dealing with them, and Frieza soldiers as well. Gohan senses this and starts flying faster to everyone's location, quickly. Gohan didn't expect this huge army and starts to worry if everyone can handle on their own. Raditz is making Frieza use his full power in his first state. Raditz does take pride in this, but he tries to defeat Frieza before he can transform. But then Raditz is thrown back by Yamcha, since the guards managed to overpower him, and they threw his body at Raditz. Raditz picks up sensing his power level is almost gone, as he quickly goes to Krillin to tell him to give Yamcha a senzu bean, as Krillin does, but this gives Frieza enough time to transform into a second form, which his power level is above 1 million. And Krillin begins to panic, but Raditz says he will hold him off until Goku and the others too arrives. Raditz flies to Frieza, saying that he's been holding back to see Frieza's true power. Raditz hopes this pushes Frieza off a bit, but he knows he won't be strong enough to handle Frieza, but he has to do what he can to hold him off until his brother returns. Raditz powers up to Kaioken times 5, knowing his body could barely handle it, but he knows it's all or nothing as round 2 of their fight begins. Back to the humans, they are starting to lose their ground. Piccolo is doing okay, but he knows this cannot last forever. Chaozu is low on energy and is getting beaten up by the Frieza soldiers, and Tien gets angered by this, and he powers up a tri-beam, killing a lot of the soldiers as he picks up Chaozu and tells him to leave, because if he dies, they can't bring him back with the Dragon Balls. But Chaozu doesn't listen to Tien, telling him that they all need to fight to protect their planet. Krillin and Yamcha are being overrun by the amount of soldiers, and they think it's the end for them, but then a huge Kamehameha wave hits the soldiers, and they see Master Roshi. Throughout the 3 years, Master Roshi was training hard and had some sparring sessions with Gohan whenever he had the chance. As Master Roshi and his 2 students of the Turtle Hermit School all work together to beat as many soldiers as possible. Piccolo joins Tien and Chaozu to help them out, working together to handle Frieza's army. Nappa then uses a large Bomber XD to kill the soldiers around him as he starts to head to Frieza and Raditz. Raditz begins to lose against Frieza from his body not being able to handle a high level of Kaioken, but then Nappa goes in with Kaioken times 3 to help even the odds, but Nappa can't do much as he is flung away by Frieza with ease. Frieza stands there, saying he's disappointed, telling Raditz that he knew that he lied to him, as Frieza readies a death beam that'll finish off Raditz, but then Frieza is hit hard right in the chest as he looks and sees Gohan at Kaioken times 5, punching Frieza right in the chest. As Gohan starts beating on Frieza, saying that he won't let him hurt his family anymore, as he beats on Frieza continuously. Raditz takes his time to go to Krillin to ask for a senzu bean so he could heal up, as Raditz's power increased from 190,000 to 350,000, now being a bit stronger than Gohan, as he powers up back up to Kaioken times 3, being stronger than Frieza's second form, and he helps Gohan beat on Frieza. Nappa goes to help the others fight the soldiers off as they keep on coming without any stop. Gohan and Raditz continue to beat Frieza, and this annoys him, where he quickly sends a death beam to Gohan, and with Raditz's instinct, he goes in the way to protect his nephew, and he gets hit in the shoulder, as Gohan worries for his uncle, but Raditz screams at Gohan to not let Frieza off his sight, as Frieza transforms again, and this shocks everyone, with them not knowing Frieza could transform again. Raditz says that they gotta continue fighting him, again, as they both go to fight Frieza, but they no longer have the upper hand, and Nappa sees this, as he heads to help them out, and with all three of them, they are barely enough to handle Frieza, but Frieza knocks them all away, saying that is enough as he powers up, once more going into his final form. With this power, the three Saiyans are stunned, but they continue fighting Frieza with the best of their ability, as Paragus and Tarbell also join the Saiyans on fighting Frieza. While Piccolo is fighting, he hears Kami in his head telling him that he must return to the lookout, this instant as he has something for him that can make him more powerful quickly. Piccolo notifies Krillin of what Kami told him, as Piccolo flies away from the battle quickly to the lookout. The humans are holding their best, but they begin to lose little by little with the many soldiers they have. Piccolo arrives, telling Kami what does he have, and it better be worthwhile for leaving during a heated situation, and Kami explains that they must fuse back into one, and Piccolo is confused that they could fuse, but Kami quickly explains that if they fuse back into one, Piccolo could be far stronger and be more of help, as then Piccolo quickly agrees, but then Kami says that there will be no more Dragon Balls, but says after this is finished, they must go to planet Namek to find a new Garden of Earth to be able to get more Dragon Balls. Piccolo says that he'll remember as they fuse into one, and Piccolo's power level goes from 80,000 to 400,000, giving him a 5 times multiplier, making Piccolo the strongest, but then finally, the doors of the time chamber open as Goku, Vegeta, and Broly come out, and the power Piccolo and everyone else in the battlefield senses, they are left completely stunned, and in thinking this could be unbelievable. The Saiyans even think that they have become the legendary Super Saiyan.
So where we left off, Goku, Vegeta, and Broly finally left the time chamber, and their power levels currently shocks everyone. Goku and Vegeta are neck and neck, having the same power level of 3 million, to where Broly has 5 million. Piccolo, who has just fused with Kami, cannot believe this much power. Kami is kind of a bit upset on how their fusion was kind of useless now, and does shout at Goku, but either way, it had to be done. All 4 of them began to head to the battlefield to go take out the threat, but they hope that everyone else can hold on just a bit longer so that they can get there in time. Back at the battlefield, the Saiyans are just being thrown around by Frieza as he taunts them, calling them jokes and all weaklings. The humans are looking grim in their situation, being exhausted after fighting thousands of Frieza soldiers. Suddenly, another space pod shoots into Earth, as everyone is confused on who that is. Frieza is about to shoot it down, but then is kicked in the face by Gohan, and since he wasn't ready for that, Frieza felt the pain and began to get pissed off. He powers up to 10% of his full power, and no one can stand a chance against him, even if they all work together. Frieza begins to pummel on the Saiyans while Tarbell stands in fear, and Gohan just watches his uncle, Nappa, and Paragus all getting beaten by Frieza. Frieza prepares to shoot Raditz, but this triggers Gohan as he gets a rage boost and rushes down Frieza, beating on him. Gohan knows he can't beat Frieza, but he must stall as long as possible. The others are going as fast as they can to the battle. They sense the new mystery power level, and are impressed with the new person's power level being 2 million. Goku is a bit worried as he senses Frieza's new power, and if this new mysterious person is an ally or foe. Gohan is now getting beaten by Frieza with ease. Then Frieza tosses Gohan away as he shoots a blast at his direction, but then the ki blast is slinged away. Frieza is shocked by this and questions who he is. Gohan sees a shadowy figure with a similar hair as his father. Gohan calls out for his dad, but when the man spoke, he had a more deeper raspier voice, as he apologizes, saying that he got him mixed up with someone else. It is revealed to be Turles, as he puts Gohan down when he looks to Frieza's shoulders with a swipe of his hand, and they all collapse. The humans are stunned by this and wonder who he was. Turles explains what he's been doing for the time while he rejected the strange dragon that told him that he was summoned to the planet Earth. Back then, when Goku made his wish to teleport all the Saiyans to Earth, Turles rejected it and asked Shenron what was the situation, as Shenron explained everything from Frieza destroying planet Vegeta to how the remaining Saiyans were planning to avenge their people on planet Earth. At first, Turles laughed at this, but then Shenron said that if they do manage to kill Frieza, he could finally have freedom and not stay in hiding anymore. Turles then really thinks about it, but then his crew says that he shouldn't because it would be a waste of time, and the rest of the dumb Saiyans will just die. This angers Turles and his Saiyan pride, as he begins to fight his own crew, telling them to not call them dumb Saiyans. As the rest of his crew begins to fight Turles, but after 2 long days, Turles emerges out victorious after slaying his entire crew by himself. Turles then begins to listen to Frieza's report throughout his scouter throughout the whole year, as he trains vigorously and even uses the fruit from the Tree of Might. His power level at first grew slowly, but over time he grew more powerful as he used the fruit more until he overheard that Frieza brought his entire army to go to Earth in a week's time to kill the rest of the Saiyans as he left to Earth. Turles apologizes to Gohan for being late to the party, but he has come to aid in the defeat of Frieza. Frieza just laughs at this, saying no matter how long he trains, it won't be enough to defeat him. Turles smirks as he flies to Frieza, telling him that this will be his grave as he powers up to full power. Frieza laughs, saying that it won't be enough, as Turles reaches out for his bag and pulls out a fruit and consumes it, bringing his power level to 10 million. Frieza just laughs, thinking it's nothing, since he isn't able to sense power levels, while everyone else is shocked that his power level multiplied by 5 times. At this point, Frieza is using less than 4% of his full power, so currently Turles would have the advantage over this fight as he begins to pound on Frieza with full force. Frieza is shocked that someone can ever get close to this power, as Turles does not let up as he just continues sending multiple kicks and punches as he slams Frieza down and shoots a kill driver as a huge explosion happens as the Z fighters flew away from the pressure. Turles thinks he did it, but then Frieza emerges from the smoke angrily, rushing down Turles and beats on him repeatedly. Turles wasn't ready for this as he starts to lose ground easily. Then Turles sends Frieza back as he makes a shiny ball that he shoots into the air. All the Saiyans know what this is besides Gohan as he stares at it. Raditz tries to warn Gohan, but it was too late, as Gohan and Turles began transforming into their Ozaru forms. Raditz was afraid that they had to fight Gohan, but Gohan didn't go crazy. Instead, he actually helped Turles to go fight Frieza. Gohan's power level in his Great Ozaru form is 3.3 million, while Turles is currently at 100 million just because of the increase of the fruit from the Tree of Might. But when he loses that power up, it will go down to 20 million in his Ozaru state. Turles uses this time to beat on Frieza, and Frieza just gets more and more angry. Frieza shoots up into the air and creates a death ball that will destroy the planet as he throws it to the planet. Everyone stands there in shock as they all begin to try to shoot the death ball back, but even with all their force combined, it doesn't seem like it's working. They think it's all over, but then a Kamehameha, Galick Gun, Special Beam Cannon, and an Eraser Cannon hits the death ball and begins to push it back. The Z fighters look back in amazement to see Goku, Vegeta, and Broly finally arriving. They manage to push the death ball away as Frieza is shocked, but then sees Vegeta. He smiles and begins to laugh, saying that this would be his grave. Vegeta then states that he will go first to fight Frieza, as Frieza just laughs, saying he is nowhere near powerful enough to beat him. Vegeta laughs as he says that he has become the legendary Super Saiyan. The other Saiyans are shocked about hearing this myth that is real, as Vegeta begins to power up as a yellow aura forms around him, and he screams as he becomes blonde. Frieza's eyes widen as in fear as he cannot believe that it is true. Vegeta explained that he became the legendary Super Saiyan during his hellish training with Goku and Broly, as they all trained together and grew in power the fastest. He was sparring against both of them, and with the pressure of him fighting both of them, he was able to power up to the Super Saiyan state. Everyone cheers on Vegeta, thinking Frieza will perish. But they don't know that Vegeta's at Super Saiyan is only 150 million and Frieza's full power is 200 million. Vegeta begins toying with Frieza, beating him senselessly. Vegeta is disappointed with this fight, saying he expected better from the man who slaughtered his race. Frieza then begs to let him go full power to give him a real challenge, as Vegeta listens. Raditz and Goku tries to tell Vegeta not to let him, as Goku rushes at Vegeta at Kaioken times 10 to stop Vegeta, but Vegeta easily holds him down, saying that he will not question the King of Saiyans. He tells he tells Kakarot that he will stand down and watch how he will end Frieza. Vegeta turns away from Goku, saying how he does not trust him with the power of the legend that will end Frieza. Raditz begins to worry as he sees the power gap between Vegeta and Frieza as he flies away. Frieza looks, but Vegeta tells him not to pay any attention to him as their fight continues. Turles has turned back into his normal state, and so has Gohan, but he is currently knocked out. Everyone is upset at Raditz for running away, but Goku believes his brother has some sort of plan ready. During the fight against Vegeta and Frieza, Vegeta is losing terribly, and everyone can see that, and begins to worry again. Then Frieza just begins to toy with Vegeta with ease, as then Frieza is about to end Vegeta, but then Goku and Broly rush at Frieza together to save Vegeta. Raditz arrives at his place as he shows that he collected the Dragon Balls before Frieza came, but was shocked to see that it was just rocks. But then he thinks, when Piccolo returned, he was much more powerful in an instant. Then he put the pieces all together to realize that Piccolo must have fused with Kami, as this anger Raditz as he loses hope. He then begins to think about his nephew Gohan and this girl he met with blonde hair who could also change her hair blue. Then he gets up quickly and flies back to the group, ready to put his life on the line for this planet. Goku and Broly are teaming up on Frieza, but he is able to handle them for now as the Saiyans both power up throughout the fight. Then Vegeta joins in, but angrily as he told the others that he didn't need their help. Frieza then is tired of this as he just quickly beats on all three of them as he shoots a blast to Goku, as Goku couldn't do much. Then a shadowy figure covers him as Goku hears a yell to see that Raditz took on the blast full force. Raditz was already damaged enough, and this blast was fatal for Raditz, as he gives the last senzu bean he had to Goku so that he can gain a Zenkai. Raditz tears up, apologizing to his brother for not being strong enough, saying that he is grateful for meeting him and spending time with him and his only family member left, as Raditz passes away. Goku catches his brother, trying to give the senzu bean to Raditz, but it was too late, as Raditz is already gone. Goku eats the senzu bean, but then tears cover his eyes, as his sadness then becomes anger, as lightning shoots around Goku, as he screams and his hair flashes yellow, as Goku powers up to become another Super Saiyan, as now Goku's power level would be 300 million, as the Zenkai boost he received brought his base power from 3 million to 5 million, plus with an extra rage boost, so it would go from 250 million with another 50 million with the rage boost. Goku then starts beating on Frieza, as he is stronger than Frieza's full power, as everyone is shocked that Goku is toying with Frieza. Goku doesn't waste time and just erases Frieza with a ki blast. Everyone thinks it's all over, as Gohan goes to Raditz's corpse, being sad that his uncle passed away, and then there's no Dragon Balls to revive him. But then Vegeta would bring up Piccolo and his people, and if they find Namek, they most likely would have more Dragon Balls. The humans celebrate as they think it's over, but Goku stays in his Super Saiyan state and he looks up into space, as he tells everyone who cannot fight to leave. But those who can have energy to fight, to get ready, as they all question him on why, as also Vegeta also senses the two power levels similar to Frieza, as he powers up once more, back into his Super Saiyan state. Then the group decides who can stay in the fight and who will leave. Most of the humans decide to head back, since they are low and tired, but Krillin chooses to stay, as he won't want to leave Goku, as this whole new army is here to destroy their planet. Tarble is too injured to continue, as Vegeta forces his younger brother to pick up Raditz's body and to leave with the others. So the people who are staying to continue fighting to defend Earth are Goku, Vegeta, Nappa, Broly, Paragus, Gohan, Krillin, Turles, and Piccolo, as they all get prepared to fight stronger enemies. Everyone stands their ground, prepared to fight another threat. Krillin is kind of nervous, as he is the weakest in the group, and this new threat is much stronger than Frieza was, but Turles would offer everyone a fruit, which some would deny it, but Nappa, Paragus, and Krillin all took one in case if they needed it for any emergencies, but only to use it if absolutely necessary, as the fruit could have a great toll on their bodies. While they were waiting for the ship to land on the ground, another machine landed a bit away from the battle as future Trunks arrived. Note, this Trunks is from the same future as canon, as we are going to be changing the rule for that Trunks. So every time we do a what if, the future Trunks that goes to the past will always have the same story. He would look around and not see anyone around this area as he is kind of confused on what is happening, but he senses many high power levels a bit away from here where he was at as he flew to that direction. When future Trunks arrives, he sees that some faces he recognizes but others that he doesn't. While he senses their energy, he also feels an energy that he recognizes as himself, which shocks him as he shouldn't be born yet, but yet he still thinks about what is happening. He doesn't really remember his mother telling him that a huge battle like this occurred, and some of these people he hasn't even heard about before being alive now. He comes to the conclusion that he probably cannot fix his own timeline since he has traveled back to a completely different timeline. But then he decided that he will still stay and help out the fighters and give Goku the medicine that he traveled back here for. He flies over to the others as everyone had their guard up, and even Paragus would dash up to future Trunks, trying to attack him, but Trunks easily catches the punch without having to put any real effort. This mysterious person shocks everyone, and it got Vegeta and Nappa thinking that this guy has a similar energy as someone they know, but they cannot put their finger on it. Trunks explained that he is from the future, and came to the past to help out, but he gets cut off as the new ship finally lands on the ground, and two figures walks out with enormous power levels. That makes Frieza look easy as it is revealed to be King Cold and Cooler with their entire army. Trunks knows about King Cold from his mother, but he never really knew there was another race like him. Vegeta is shocked to see Cooler as he notifies everyone that Cooler is Frieza's older brother and King Cold being Frieza's father. Everyone is in shock as Frieza's family is much stronger. Trunks stands forward, taking out his sword and transforming into his Super Saiyan state, saying that he will help them out as everyone is standing there in major confusion, as this random guy that just showed up transformed into a Super Saiyan like it was nothing. But they push that aside as they get prepared to fight that will decide their fate of the entire world. In Capsule Corp, everyone who left the battle arrived being very exhausted as Bulma and Chi-Chi came to aid them. Bulma notified them that the news is showing the battle as everyone looked at the screen, and Tarbo's face shows great fear as Bulma asks what was wrong, as Tarbo tells everyone that Frieza's father and brother arrived to the planet with an even greater army. Tien, Yamcha, and Master Roshi stand there in disbelief, feeling ashamed that they even decided to head back. Bulma told them that it wasn't their fault, that they wanted to head back as if they stayed they could have died. Tien clenches his fist, saying that he is going to go back there to help them. Chaozu says that it's dangerous and that he could end up dying, but Tien says that all the others are also very tired, but they decide to stay and they need all the help they can get because if they lose, all hope is lost. Yamcha grabs Tien's shoulder saying that he will go with them. Tarbo's is scared, but he swallowed his fear, saying that he will return to the battlefield as well. Master Roshi would try to go with them, but Yamcha says that he and Chaozu would stay back since it's too dangerous as they all fly back to the battlefield, as Bulma and Chi-Chi show how worried they are, with Bulma looking over to see the newborn Trunks. The fighters begin their battle, with Trunks and Vegeta fighting King Cold, Goku and Broly fighting against Cooler, Gohan and Turles fighting against Cooler's trio squadron, and the rest fighting any of the underlings. The battlefield is huge as the Z fighters all try their hardest to take out the threat. Trunks, being stronger than any of them, handles King Cold easily, but when Cooler sees this, as he shoots laser beams from his eye that hit Trunks in the back, which leaves him pretty injured but not out from the fight. Cooler transforms into his final form and easily bodies both Goku and Broly, but slowly, Broly's power grows more and more, which slowly is catching up to Cooler's power. Nappa, Paragus, and Krillin are slowly having trouble with the amount of soldiers there are as they begin to get outnumbered, but both Paragus and Nappa bite into the fruit that Turles gave them, as Krillin tried to warn them saying that only if it's absolute emergency, but it was too late. Their body began to burst with power as they fought through many soldiers in a short amount of time, but quickly they started to break down as their body wasn't used to a huge amount of power in a short amount of time, and they both became decommissioned from the battle, as Krillin was the only one left to fight the entire army, as he powers up, refusing to use the fruit just yet, saying that he won't let everyone down. He uses a solar flare, blinding many soldiers, and he charges up multiple destructo discs and sends them flying, cutting many soldiers, as he also charges up a scattered Kamehameha as he took out more soldiers. Krillin realized that he used more energy than he had, and even with his great power, he took out many soldiers, but a great amount still stands. Krillin slowly falls, apologizing to everyone, saying that he cannot go any longer. But then he feels some support from his back, as he turns to see Yamcha and Tien and Tarbles. As he smiles, asking them what are they doing here, said that with the planet at stake, it didn't feel right to just sit around even if they were tired and scared. Krillin pulled out the fruit that Turles gave him, as he split it into 4 pieces as each of them took a piece, as it gave them an extra power boost, but not so much that their power wouldn't be able to handle it, as all 4 of them worked together to take out Cold's army. With Goku and Broly fighting Cooler, it's not on their side, as Goku is struggling even with his Super Saiyan transformation, and Broly is growing in power, but not at a fast enough rate. Cooler is playing with them as he has little trouble fighting both of them, but then Goku decides to stack Kaioken with Super Saiyan, knowing that this could really damage his body, but there's no other choice, as he powers up to Kaioken times 10 and rushing at Cooler, having the edge on him, beating him repeatedly. Goku punches him through many mountains and quickly sends a full power Kamehameha wave at Cooler, thinking it must have done the job, but quickly Goku's body collapses from the extreme pressure his body has took, as he fell out of his Super Saiyan state. He looks over to see the smoke disappear, but Cooler gets even angrier than before as he rushes to Goku and grabs him by the hand and slams him down to the floor as Goku screams in pain. Broly gets up and rushes to Goku's aid as he kicks Cooler away and using all of his strength to protect Goku, as Broly sees Goku as a great friend. Broly tries his hardest using all of his strength into every attack he throws at Cooler, but Cooler just powers up even more and begins to pound on Broly without trouble, until the point where he throws Broly away and begins to charge a beam to kill him, but then he feels something on his chest as he looks down to see a weakened Paragus punching him, saying that he won't kill his son, as Cooler laughs as he kicks him away. But Paragus gets right back up, having his guard up, as this annoys Cooler, where he would shoot a death beam right at Paragus' shoulders, and Cooler would continue shooting multiple death beams at Paragus. But Paragus would still be standing as he turns to Broly, saying that he is sorry for how he treated him poorly, and said to him that he is proud of him for calling him his son. But then Cooler shoots a final beam right through Paragus' heart as this kills him. Broly rushes to his father, grabbing him as he cries out, but quickly those cries of sadness turn into a scream of pure anger and rage, as Broly turns into his Super Saiyan form. This power stops every fight as everyone looks at Broly as his power skyrockets beyond anything. Broly will look at Cooler and rush him down so fast that Cooler doesn't even have time to react, as Broly begins to beat him as Goku slowly gets up but is stuck to the ground as he cannot get up any longer. Seeing his son get beaten, Cole tries to help his son, but Vegeta and Trunks get in his way, saying that he won't be going anywhere. Cole, tired wasting his time, gets upset and transforms into his final form. This worries both Trunks and Vegeta as they power up and charge right at him, but the fight is quickly one-sided as Cole is much stronger than both of them. Trunks attacks Cole, but is quickly flung away as Cole grabs onto Vegeta by the throat, ready to kill him, but then Cole feels a sting from his tail, as he sees that his tail has been cut off by a bloody Trunks, as he drops Vegeta and begins to beat on Trunks as he cannot do anything to stop Cole. But then Cole gets hit with 2 blasts from his back as he looks back to see Gohan and Turles. Trunks seeing a young Gohan, he tears up a little, remembering what happened to his Gohan. Cole gets angry as he rushes at both of them, but then they get out of the way to see a special beam cannon go directly at him, as Cole barely had enough time to move out the way to dodge the attack, but it did hit the side of his stomach as he falls over in pain, as he grows more enraged and charges at the Namekian, but he gets hit in the back of his head by Turles. Turles passes the fruit to Piccolo as they both munch on the fruit as they get a power-up. Gohan helps Vegeta and Trunks up, saying that their best chance of fighting this guy is if they use teamwork and gang up on him, and they might have a chance to beat Cold. Vegeta isn't too fond of this way of battling as he sees it as cowardly, but he slowly grew attached to his planet as he goes along with it. So Vegeta, Trunks, Piccolo, Turles, and Gohan all work together with fighting against Cold, with their power levels being somewhat close to King Cold's together and them having the strength in numbers as they teamed up on Cold. Cold gets up from being slammed to the ground. He gets even angrier, looking for the Saiyan that hit him in the back of his head, but then Piccolo slams his fist into Cold's stomach as Cold spits out a bit of blood, as he's confused on how the Namekian grew in strength so quickly. But then he would be struck by both Gohan and Turles, as Turles would sweep Cold's feet as he falls over to be uppercutted by Gohan, which sends him flying. But Cold would see Vegeta and Trunks, both charging up a Gallic gun, as they blast Cold with all their power that they had. But also, Gohan would charge a Kamehameha to shoot at Cold, as Turles and Piccolo would join in as they blasted with Gohan, which sandwiches Cold between a beam struggle, as he tries to shoot a blast, but he is putting all of his focus into trying to protect himself. Away, Tarbo sees this, and sees that Cold is in the middle of the beam struggle, and decide that he will aid his brother as he rushes over and uses all of his strength to shoot another Gallic gun. As soon as the ki blast connects with the beam circle, a huge explosion is caused that sends everyone flying backwards. Vegeta and Turles are the first ones to get back as they see a cloud of smoke slowly dissipate, and they still sense Colt's energy, but it is much weaker as when the cloud disappears, Colt is left standing. Kind of. All that is left is his arm and his upper body, similar to what happened to Frieza in canon. Colt is in major pain and lost most of his power, but he still gets up. Vegeta shows an evil smirk, going to King Colt, extending his arm. As soon as Colt grabs it, Vegeta tosses him into the air and explodes him into dust as Vegeta falls over using all of his energy, leaving him knocked out. With the humans, they are having trouble since they barely have any energy left to fight, as a group of soldiers collectively shoots multiple ki blasts at Krillin, and with Krillin out of energy, he believes it is it for him. But then Yamcha gets in front of him, taking the ki blast for him as Krillin is left stunned as he screams out for Yamcha. The soldiers stop firing to show Yamcha is still standing as he gives Krillin one final thumbs up as he falls over to the ground. Both Krillin and Tien go to Yamcha, but they make it to see that he has also fallen with his last stand to protect his friend. They are both in tears, being saddened by his death as they get surrounded by soldiers. But then Turles arrives, slaughtering all the soldiers with the remaining of his energy, as he goes to Krillin and Tien, apologizing for their loss, and he thanks them for all their help with dealing with the army. Then suddenly their attention shifts to Broly, beating Cooler within an inch of his life. Cooler has just been getting beaten the entire time he has been fighting Broly after killing Paragus, and this fight is pointless as Cooler won't even get a chance to move, but quickly he shoots a beam at Broly, which does nothing, but Cooler gains some distance as he tries to charge up a death ball, but Broly grabs onto his hand and breaks it as Cooler falls over in pain, as Broly sends him flying and shoots an eraser can which completely erases Cooler, and finally, ending the battle. Goku goes to Broly, slowly trying to calm him down before he loses it, as both he and Vegeta dealt with this version of Broly while they were training in the hyperbolic time chamber, and barely made it out with their lives. Broly sees Goku and he slowly begins to calm down as he begins to lose his Super Saiyan state, but still being sad about his father's death. Goku falls down by Broly, saying that not all hope is lost, as they may have a way to bring him back, and bring everyone else back. The Z fighters who are still alive all head back to Capsule Corp to be taken care of. A bit later, Korn grows more senzu beans so everyone can be healed back to full strength. Finally, after their peace, Trunks introduces himself to everyone and tells everyone his reason for being here. This shocks everyone, especially Vegeta and Bulma with having their son come back from the future, and Goku and Gohan with hearing that Goku died and another threat killing everyone. Trunks says that he must return to his future, but in 3 years' time, Andros should arrive here and he will return. Until then, as he heads off. Everyone begins to think about what they would do as they still need to bring back the fighters who've fallen during this major intense fight and this new threat that could possibly end them all. After Trunks left Back to the Future, he left the group thinking about what they need to do as Piccolo tells the others that they need to head to Namek to get a new Guardian of Earth and also a new set of Dragon Balls. Krillin comes up with the idea of having some of them go to Namek to revive the fallen while the others stay on Earth and begin their training for the androids. Goku thinks it's a good idea, but asks who would be going to Namek. Piccolo cuts in saying that he should head to Namek since he's a Namekian, but also points out that the strongest fighters should prepare for the new androids. Krillin and Tien said they would join Piccolo so that they can get Yamcha back, and Vegeta would tell Tarbles and Nappa for them to go with the others since they have more experience with traveling in space, and for extra fighters just in case they meet any threat. Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, and Broly would stay on Earth, as Goku would go to Turles and ask if he wanted to stay and train with them, but Turles says that he will leave on his own for his own training purposes, but promises that he will return when the android threat arrives because he wouldn't want to miss this powerful opponent, as he gets to his space pod and flies off on his own. Bulma would begin making a ship for them to travel in, and in 1 month's time she would have a ship done similar to the one Goku had in the original story when he headed to Namek. She added a gravity room for training since they will be traveling on their own for a while, as the group would head to Namek, thanks to Bulma, as now they will have a form of training. As they leave off, the other group is all training hard in the gravity room, but sometimes Gohan would have to leave to do some schoolwork because Chi-Chi is still at Capsule Corp. Goku, Vegeta, and Broly all train and try to perfect the Super Saiyan transformation, as Vegeta is the only one who can become a Super Saiyan at will, with Goku not being far behind. But Broly is kind of worried for losing control again, but during their training when Broly tries to transform in his Super Saiyan state, he ends up transforming into his Akari form, which shocks both Vegeta and Goku as they are shocked with Broly's new transformation. As they wonder what it is, Broly tries his hardest to stay calm but soon falls out of his transformation. Goku notices that Broly's powers increase 10 times as Vegeta figures out that Broly managed to get the power boost of a great ape without having to transform into one, as this gives Goku an idea for training Broly and Gohan. During the days of training while heading to Namek, all 5 of them trained hard while traveling. At first, the game was slow with the humans having trouble going at the rate with the others, but overall their training went well. At this point, no more power levels, but we will do some power scaling. Broly will be at the top, followed by Goku and Vegeta being somewhat equal. Then Turtles will follow on, then to Gohan, then to Piccolo, Nappa, Tarbles, Tien, and then Krillin. They finally arrive at Namek and begin their search for the Dragon Balls. They encounter the first village they see as they land and act all politely besides Nappa since he's still all the same. But Piccolo would tell him to calm down. Piccolo would talk to the Namekians asking if they could have their Dragon Balls to wish back their friends. The Namekians would apologize saying that they seem friendly but they could not just give away their Dragon Balls, but they could meet their Grand Elder and talk to him to see if he will let them use the Dragon Balls. Nappa is clearly upset, but Piccolo tells Nappa to calm down as he thanks the Namekians that they will all head to the Grand Elder's place after the Namekians headed them to the right direction. They would shortly arrive at the Grand Elder's place and would see a Namekian guarding the entrance as they land nearby. Nail will quickly be on his guard, saying that he will not allow anyone to enter into the sacred place, but Piccolo will introduce himself and explain his reasoning for being here. But Nail still won't allow it as he charges at Piccolo, but Piccolo would easily dodge all of Nail's attacks and catch his hands, telling Nail that he did not want to hurt him, as they just want a chance to speak to the Elder. As then Grand Elder Mori comes outside asking Nail what is going on. Piccolo would instantly let go of Nail's hand as he kneels down. With Kami's knowledge, he would know what to do. Now for a quick explanation why Mori is the Grand Elder and not Guru is because in canon Guru originally passed away right during the time of the Namek arc, after everyone was wished on Earth. At this point of the What If story, we are beyond the date of the events of the canon Namek arc. So in this What If, Guru passed away of old age and Mori would still become the Grand Elder. Now let's get back to the story. Mori would greet the travelers and letting them come into his place as they would enter to see 2 children, one being Dende and his other brother Cargo. Mori would ask them why would they travel to Namek, as Piccolo would explain the reason they have traveled to this planet. If they could use the Namekian Dragon Balls and possibly find a new guardian for their planet. They would collect all the Dragon Balls as they would summon Porunga, and Porunga would be able to grant them 3 wishes, which shocks them not knowing this, as they would wish back the people who died fighting Frieza, and they would also ask Mori if they could ask Porunga to choose them a new guardian from Earth. As Mori would allow this, as Porunga would choose Dende to be the new guardian, as Mori would be proud of Dende, saying that he will become a great guardian. As Dende is kind of nervous, not really sure about this, but Piccolo would go over to Dende saying that it would be an honor to everyone on Earth to have him as their new guardian. Dende would calm down, saying he will head back with them as they thank everyone as they head back to Earth with the new guardian. On Earth, Paragus, Raditz, and Yamcha are brought back to life as Broly is happy to see his father back alive again, and Goku and Gohan would be happy to see Raditz. But the reunion is cut short as they notify Raditz, Paragus, and Yamcha of the threat of the androids as they all pump up to train to prepare for the fight. Paragus and Raditz would join the Saiyans, but Yamcha says that he doesn't want to hold them back, but he will be training elsewhere and wait for the others to return as he flies off to go to Master Roshi's to train with him. The others will return back to Earth as everyone meets them at Capsule Corp, as everyone would greet Dende, but Piccolo would say that they must go to the lookout to begin the process for Dende to become the Guardian as they would head off. Goku would say to Tien and Krillin that Yamcha was waiting for them at the lookout as they would go with Piccolo to the lookout. Now every Saiyan would be training together with the gravity room, and Goku and Vegeta would try to have everyone obtain the Super Saiyan transformation. Piccolo and the others would arrive as they would be greeted by Mr. Popo as he would tell Tien and Krillin that Yamcha would be coming out of the time chamber in a few minutes. As then Piccolo and Mr. Popo would help Dende get prepared to become the new guardian and begin creating the new set of Dragon Balls. Tien and Krillin would be waiting for Yamcha to leave the time chamber, but not longer after the door would open up as Yamcha would head out of the time chamber and be glad to see Tien and Krillin. But behind Yamcha, Master Roshi would come up as this shocks both of them as they finally realize that Yamcha has grown so much more powerful than both Tien and Krillin, and Master Roshi being near their power level. Tien would ask Yamcha what training has he been doing, as Yamcha explained that during the week he has been waiting for them to return. He went to Goku to learn the Kaioken and asked Bulma to create him a portable gravity chamber, as then he went to ask Mr. Roshi to train with him as they entered the time chamber, and Yamcha would teach Master Roshi the Kaioken, and after both they started to use the gravity room, and they would also spar while using Kaioken. Roshi would have to use his buff form while using the Kaioken, but this training has been very effective for both of them as they quickly grew in strength. Roshi says that it's been a good training session, but that's about what he'll do, as he thinks he won't be much of use when the androids arrive. Yamcha, Tien, and Krillin will continue training at the lookout while using the gravity room and trying to master Kaioken. Later on, when Dendy finally gets settled in, Piccolo would join the humans in their training and also learn the Kaioken as well. Throughout their training, the 3 years would pass by quickly as everyone would meet up by South City, and now let's do a quick power scaling. In still first place, we got Broly, followed by Goku and Vegeta still being equals. Turles will be followed up by Den. Then we would have Raditz, then Piccolo, Nappa, Gohan, Tarbles, Yamcha, Tien, and Krillin are somewhat equal. As the only Saiyans who obtained Super Saiyan was Raditz and Tarbles, as they were able to transform into the state but starts to work on it, as Gohan and Broly both been working on the wrathful state rather than Super Saiyan. While they are all watching over the city, they see an explosion go off, which alerts them, and they begin to search the area. Now Bulma and Yajirobe would not be in a flying car with the group, so it would be one less thing to worry about. Now since there are more fighters in canon, they would have less ground to cover, but still Yamcha would be the first one to encounter the androids, but this Yamcha is way more stronger than his canon counterpart, and he would be able to stand on his own ground against Gero, and he would call in Android 19 to aid him, but at this point the others would have arrived much more quickly. Gero would see how outnumbered he is, but he smirks, saying that he's glad that he has brought backup, as 16, 17, and 18 all show up and they all start to have a brawl. Now let's go back to Dr. Gero. While he was programming the androids, since everyone else is stronger compared to their canon counterparts, these androids would be stronger than the canon androids. And since there was a huge war battle between Frieza's family and the Z fighters, this gives Dr. Gero has much more fighters to study to make their androids much more powerful. Gero would have noted that there is a lot more fighters, so he would work on 16, make him more powerful and not solely only want to fight Goku. Another thing is, the androids do know about the Super Saiyan transformation, as Vegeta, Goku, Broly, they all transform into that state, so they are incredibly powerful right now. Now for this next big fight, the humans will go against Dr. Gero, 19 will go against Nappa, Piccolo, and Paragus, 17 will go against Goku, Gohan, and Raditz, and 18 will go against Vegeta and Tarbles, while 16 and Broly would have their 1v1. The fight would break out all across the city, but Goku is worried with the people that are nearby as he tries to hold back to not hurt any innocent people. Even with our fighters being stronger, the androids are much more stronger too, so they will have a hard time fighting the androids. The only one who's easily disposable was Dr. Gero with the human trio team up, as they all were able to gang up on him with their excellent teamwork and use of Kaioken. Before they finished off Dr. Gero, he said that they would need to watch out as he sent one more android to this location, as this shocks them. The fight between Android 19 is doing okay, but the group is having trouble since their teamwork isn't so good, with Nappa being mainly trying to brute force his way, Piccolo trying to use strategy, and Paragus having trouble to aiding these two teammates. Android 17 is dealing with Goku, Gohan, and Raditz pretty well, even though Goku and Raditz have Super Saiyan and Gohan having his wrathful form. Throughout the fights, Goku's heart virus would never actually come into fruition, because during the time they were training at Capsule Corp, and Chi-Chi would be staying there, so she would make sure that Goku would take the heart medicine. Their fight would be hard against Android 17, but his power would just be so great that he was able to handle them all. 17 would begin on beating on Goku, as Gohan would be enraged and begin charging at 17, as Raditz would soon follow behind his nephew. Vegeta and Tarbles would be getting pummeled by 18, as Tarbles will still be having trouble to use Super Saiyan, and Vegeta's trying to watch out for his younger sibling, but also having to put out most of the effort into fighting against the android. Broly, on the other hand, is having the edge on 16 even without using his Super Saiyan form, and only his wrathful state. He is still getting stronger the longer he fights, as soon as he is able to overpower 16, with the only thing 16 has against Broly is having infinite stamina. Away from battle, 3 more people have arrived at Earth, with it being Turles finally arriving back to aid them with the androids, Future Trunks arriving back, and Cell currently eating people after traveling from a different timeline. The humans stand guard, waiting for the arrival of the new android, but they see something flying at top speed, and without even realizing it, all 3 of them are slammed against one giant big android, as they are sent flying back to see a tall android with blue skin and orange hair, with this being Android 13 after absorbing Android 14 and 15. This android is the strongest one there is, as the humans prepare to fight it so that the others won't have more problems to deal with. All 3 of them activate Kaioken as they charge at the new android, but quickly they learn that this android won't be easy to beat like the last one. Even with them combining their attacks and trying to use their teamwork, the absolute power Android 13 has, which lets him easily handle all 3 of them. They soon realize that their chances of beating this new foe is low, but Yamcha tries to be positive, telling the others that they will not give up and be tested and be bested like last time, saying that he will not fall like last time. Yamcha goes beyond, using Kaioken times 20. His body is having some strain, but Yamcha still tries his hardest as he charges at Android 13, and Krillin and Tien, seeing this, they follow Yamcha using Kaioken times 20 as well. Yamcha would rush down Android 13 quickly, attacking him with a multitude of Wolf Fang Fist. Then Tien would use his multi-clone ability to have the two of his clones to hold down Android 13, as Tien and Krillin would use a solo flare to blind him, as Tien will also charge a multiple Neo Tri-Beam as he shoots multiple of them at Android 13, giving enough time for Krillin to charge a Destructo Disc as he sends it to him. Just before it hits Android 13, he gains his vision back and quickly dodges it, but he still gets hit by the disc, only losing an arm, so he gets furious. Quickly, as the humans got worried, as they used all their strength into that combo, thinking it's over for them. But when Android 13 tries to rush through the fighters, he is launched back to reveal Turles in his Super Saiyan form, saying that he will handle it from here, as Krillin is glad, but the others too feel disappointed that they needed to be aided once more. The humans still try to be helpful with trying to help the civilians to safely evacuate the city, but then they are approached by a bug-like being, and even without putting up a fight, they are all quickly knocked out, without the others knowing. As Cell quietly look at the battle taking place, as he plans to absorb the androids silently, as he has no chance of beating these fighters, as there are too many of them, and they are all way stronger than normal. With Vegeta and Turbos, it is not going well, as 18 is able to play with them, not taking them too seriously, and at this point it pisses Vegeta off as he goes to attack 18, but she dodges him easily and kicks him right in the arm, breaking it just like in canon. As Vegeta screams in pain, as this angers Turbos to the point where he finally gains Super Saiyan once again and charges at 18, trying to fight her, but even with this little power boost, it doesn't really change much in the battle, as she still easily beats him down. She begins charging up a blast to end Turbos and Vegeta, but then Vegeta sees this and gets enraged as he kicks 18 while she wasn't paying attention to him, as she crashes into a building, and Vegeta would charge up a final flash shooting at the building he knocked her into, and when the smoke fades away, she isn't there, which has Vegeta thinking that he finished her off. 17 would be beating down on Gohan, Goku, and Raditz with ease as he gets prepared to kill Gohan, but then everyone would stop as they all sense a massive power level rapidly shooting up, as a big explosion would engulf the entire city, destroying it, and also sadly killing off the residents of the city. Also, the knocked out Krillin, Tien, and Yamcha. Semi-Perfect Cell will reveal himself laughing and gaining confidence after absorbing a powerful 18. No, since these androids are much more powerful, when Cell absorbs them, he is much more powerful than what he was in canon. Everyone is in shock when Goku is the only one to point out that the humans weren't killed, the humans were killed in the blast, as this angers him. As he rushes to Cell trying to fight him, but with him being weakened, he's easily punched away, and with everyone being in shock, Cell takes his opportunity to rush to 17, absorbing him right in front of Gohan and Raditz, as he easily transforms into his perfect form. Away Trunks stopped by his traveling machine, as he is confused on why there is another one when he has his own in the Hoi Poi capsule, as he gets worried, but then he senses the powerful ki that just rose, and this leaves him shaking. Back at the battle, everyone is standing still, not fighting, as Cell is happy seeing everyone in fear of his power, as he knows no one can stop him. But with having the cells of the Saiyans, he tells them that he will hold a tournament 1 week from now and will let them train to stop him. After he sees the other two androids not wanting to have them kill any fighters, he quickly teleports behind 16, blowing him up and also knocking out Broly in the process, and then easily destroying 13 and 19. Cell smiles, saying he is hoping for a good fight by Goku as he flies away, leaving everyone in fear of this new powerful foe, and them thinking what would their plan be to defeat Cell. All the Z fighters meet up in the lookout, where they see Trunks again, as he would ask what have happened, and who is that fighter with the key of many different fighters, as Goku quickly sums up everything for Trunks. And this kind of scares him, with it being that powerful, after absorbing a much stronger android than his own timeline, as he would ask what their plan is to beat the threat. Goku says at first he wants to revive the humans that were killed, but then Dende says that they want to talk to Goku from the other world. Krillin explains to Goku that they should save the Dragon Balls instead of wasting the wish on them, since they won't be able to help that much with beating Cell, as Tien sadly agrees, saying that they should focus on aiming to beat Cell, as he continues saying that they had been behind the Saiyans for a while now, and with trying to catch up to their level of strength. Yamcha pipes in, saying that it sucks that he died again in such a short time span, but he says that maybe this could be their way of trying to catch up to their level of strength with training with many fighters in the other world. Yamcha proceeds to say that when they return, they will all be unrecognizable to everyone. But in the meantime, they need to train up to beat Cell. All three of them say that they should not lose to Cell, as they believe in the fighters. Goku smiles, saying that they will, and he can't wait to see how strong they will get when they return. And he will be looking forward to seeing them when they all learn in the other world. Goku thinks about what they should all do, as they have such a big group and not everyone can go in the time chamber. Goku decides that he, Vegeta, Broly, Gohan, and Trunks will go to the time chamber with bringing a lot of extra food. Trunks even thinks about Cell and explains that there's another Cell in this timeline, as Piccolo and Paragus will go out to find this other Cell to destroy it, as they can become a big problem if it's born. Turles will be training with Tarbles, Raditz, and Nappa, since Time Chamber all of the Saiyans would be training. Vegeta would be training with Trunks, wanting him to be much stronger, while with the more interesting group would be Gohan, Goku, and Broly. Now Goku will want to focus more on Broly rather than Gohan in this timeline, because Broly is much more powerful and has a lot more potential, in my opinion. But Goku would know how much potential that his own son has, but with how much stronger Cell is now that he was seeing from Broly, he knows Broly's the best chance of beating Cell. Goku teaches him the Super Saiyan transformation, with Gohan getting it much quicker than Broly. Broly's having trouble trusting himself, as he is afraid that he could lose control, but Goku would keep pushing Broly until he does give in and transform into a Super Saiyan state. But with everyone being taken aback, as Broly is in complete control, as they wonder what was the difference between when Broly transformed now and when he transformed when he saw his father died. Goku notices that the power is different from what he felt it back then, but he decides to keep training with them, and at a halfway mark of training, all 5 of them will be training together for the remainder of the time. A bit before their year is over, Goku and Vegeta would have a full-out fight against each other. During this fight, they discover something amazing. They both give it their all and went above and beyond in this fight, so much they both ended up transforming into their Super Saiyan 2 state, and everyone was shocked, even both of them, as they did not expect that there was a power above the legendary Super Saiyan. Finally, after the years passed, all 5 of them leave the time chamber and everyone is shocked. Turles quickly rushes Nappa, Raditz, Tarbles, and Piccolo inside the time chamber. Note, the reason Paragus isn't really going into the time chamber is because his age, even though he is between the age of between 60 and 70, so he still has like 10-ish, around 10 or more years of fighting. Since the Cell game happened in the age of 757 and the Broly movie happened in 780, and at 780 he was already above 80, but you know, this is like almost 30 years prior. But Paragus doesn't really want to age up more quickly, so he decides it's best for him not to really go in there and just to stay out. But anyways, Goku decides that him, Gohan, and Broly will relax the next few days while Vegeta and Trunks continue training. Goku invites Broly and Paragus to his home, and they plan on relaxing, but then he hears a voice as it is Krillin, and he tells Goku to quickly visit someone named King Kai, and they will meet him there. Goku arrives on King Kai's planet and he sees Krillin and the others again. It is a little happy reunion. Krillin tells Goku that they have something to show Goku, as Yamcha and Tien get into position and they perform the fusion dance to become Tiencha, and this impresses Goku. Goku was spot with the fusion above his 2 friends, and even with Goku in his perfect Super Saiyan state, this fight is pushing him to go above and beyond. After the fight, they explain the fusion dance with Goku and tell him the pros and cons of the technique. Goku is glad to have learned this, but then he thinks about who he can fuse with, that it is equal in power to him and around the same height. He heads back to Earth and goes look for Vegeta and tell him about this dance. Goku finds Vegeta and tells him about the fusion dance. Vegeta looks appalled at even the thought of him doing such an embarrassing dance, but Goku manages to convince Vegeta to give it a chance. They practice the dance and train for a while. The others would leave the time chamber with everyone actually knowing the Super Saiyan transformation. Raditz and Turles would head to Goku, while Tarbles and Nappa would head to Vegeta. Everyone would do the same light sparring until the day of the Cell games arrives. They all head to the arena, prepare to fight Cell. Goku would be the first to fight Cell. Now this would be sort of similar to being a canon fight, as yes, Cell is stronger, but Goku's also stronger in this timeline, but with Cell having the small advantage. Their fight would be amazing and easily destroy the arena, but Cell wouldn't care as he's enjoying the fight. Goku tries to get the upper hand against Cell throughout the fight, but Cell keeps up every attack Goku throws. There is very little room for error for Goku as he desperately tries to gain the upper hand. Goku's last chance is his Kamehameha as he blasts Cell with all of his strength. As the smoke clears, it is revealed that most of Cell's body has been completely disintegrated, as everyone thinks that Cell has been defeated. But then Cell regenerates his body in an instant and continues fighting Goku. After a while, he will call it quits and tell Cell that he will fight someone stronger than him, as this catches Cell off guard as he asks who, and Goku will be pointing out to Broly. Broly will face off Cell, powering up to a Super Saiyan state. Paragus is a little worried about his son, but Goku tells him not to worry as he believes that Broly can handle Cell. When they begin to fight it out, Broly and Cell are on equal grounds, and Cell is enjoying the fight, but soon Cell will realize that keeping this fight going would be a great mistake. Cell soon realizes that Broly is getting stronger and stronger the longer they fight, as he decides that he will try to end Broly as soon as possible. He sends some death beams towards Broly as he deflects them, but then he gets hit by some of them, and soon Cell will take this moment and send multiple at Broly, and this injures Broly greatly. The others get worried as Paragus would instantly rushes to aid his son, but Cell would see this and send a death beam at Paragus, and he is sent crashing to the floor. Cell begins to get angry as he spawned in Cell Jr. to fight off the other fighters. Broly would see his father close to death and his friends all begin beaten up as he begins to get angry as he starts charging up, and Cell is having a harder time holding down Broly until everyone is engulfed with a green aura. Cell is stunned at Broly's immense power as it keeps rising. The ground trembles, and the power in the air is so powerful and gusts of wind surround the Saiyan. Broly lets out an outrageous scream that can be heard for miles. Broly is fully engulfed in a green aura as his hair turns green and reveals that he has been transformed into his legendary Super Saiyan state, like he did back when fighting. Who'd he fight? Cooler. Yeah, fight Cooler. Cell takes a second to react and send his Cell Juniors towards Broly as they all gang up on him. Now Broly is much stronger than everyone here, but with heavily being outnumbered and the fact that he took so much damage before he transformed, he's gonna be at a disadvantage in the fight at first. The others will see this and try to aid Broly, but with the Cell Juniors would easily kick them away one at a time and no one can get close to helping Broly. But as the fight continues, Broly continues to get stronger and stronger. The Cell Juniors continue to beat down on Broly until an opening appears, and in an instant, Broly grabs onto one of the Cell Juniors and crushes it. Everyone is stunned, especially Cell and the rest of the Cell Juniors. But Broly does not waste any time as he charges at the remaining Cell Juniors and shows no mercy as he beats down on them one by one. Broly continues to get stronger and kills every single one of Cell Juniors until the last one, who tried to get away from the fight, but was caught by Broly with incredible speed and with overwhelming strength, destroying the last Cell Junior without a second thought. Broly lets out a thunderous yell as he powers up even more. He turns around to see Cell shocked in his disbelief of what's about to happen. Broly stares down Cell before rushing towards him and delivers a barrage of attacks. The Z fighters are astonished at the strength that Broly has shown. None of them can truly believe it, not even Goku. Broly continues to beat down on Cell, not giving him a chance to recover, and this worries Cell. Broly is able to install fear into Cell. He would throw Cell into the air and shoot a huge ki blast that hits Cell. The explosion raises half of Cell's body, but would start regenerating it. But with this, Broly continues his outrage and attacks Cell once again. Cell hasn't fully healed yet, so he can't do much, but Broly continues to pummel Cell until finally, Broly launches Cell into the sky, charges an eraser cannon to finish off Cell. Everyone is glad that Earth is gone, but they all look over to see Broly as he is losing control once again, and this worries everyone greatly. Goku will try to tell Broly to calm down, but it's clearly not working, and Broly starts attacking the Z fighters. Then everyone charges at Broly, trying to make him calm down, but as if they were Cell Juniors, Broly easily swat them all away. Goku and Vegeta look from afar, and Goku tells Vegeta that if they want to take Broly down, they have to fuse. Vegeta scoffs but agrees as they fuse to become Gogeta. Everyone is stunned to feel this new power appearing out of nowhere. As of right now, Gogeta in his base is on par with Broly. Gogeta rushes down Broly and they begin to brawl. At first it seems Gogeta has the upper hand, but not soon after, Broly grows stronger and then base Gogeta, as Gogeta decides to power up into their Super Saiyan state. They know they're about the time limit, so they decide not to waste more time. The fight continues as it shocks everyone with how powerful this fusion is. Broly is beginning to be pushed back, but still able to fight off Gogeta. This fight is hard for Gogeta as he doesn't want to kill Broly, but cannot hold back or they would die. They're preparing an attack, but then Broly would begin screaming and powering up as he quickly closes the power gap between him and Gogeta, as everyone again feels worried. The entire planet could feel the immense power that Broly is pouring out. Gogeta takes it up a notch and scats Kaioken with Super Saiyan and doesn't give Broly more time to charge up, but Broly powers up so much that he is equal to Super Saiyan Gogeta stacked with Kaioken. Golly, Broly is insane. Their fight creates a big pressure wave. Each punch they throw, everyone is just standing there wondering what they could do, but Piccolo states that they cannot do anything as both of these fighters are in a whole different league than them. King Kai tries to speak telepathically to Gogeta, telling him that at this rate they would destroy the entire planet. Vegeta begins to get serious and powers up to the max, transforming into a Super Saiyan 2 state, surprising everyone. He begins to pummel Broly with ease and finally create enough power gap where Gogeta can beat down Broly. They take this opportunity to use all their strength to knock Broly out of his legendary Super Saiyan state. They create a powerful ki fist and charge up most of their energy into this punch as they punch Broly across the face with enough force that he is sent flying away and knocking him out of his legendary Super Saiyan state. Vegeta powers down to base and goes over to Broly to check if he's okay, and Broly slowly gets up, being very weakened but calmed. Paragus, being heavily injured, tries to help out his son. Broly thanks Goku and Vegeta for calming him down. Gogeta says nothing, but it's time to go home as the threat is finally dealt with, as they begin to fly off, but then Paragus is shot through the chest with a ki blast. Broly turns over to see Cell but falls over as he's still very injured. Everyone stops to see a much more powerful Cell, and this Cell is angry. Being consumed in Broly's energy, Cell was almost completely erased but had one cell left and was able to regenerate with the new power boost of fighting Broly in his legendary Super Saiyan state. Yep, to be honest, this Cell is much more powerful and even scary. Hell, he absorbed energy from one of the most OP Dragon Ball characters of all time, with Broly being just broken. So yeah, I mean, this Cell's a mess. He's a threat. He needs to be dealt with. Everyone is scared, but Gogeta would charge right to Cell, preparing to fight him. But before they reach Cell, Gogeta defuses back to Goku and Vegeta, and they fly past Cell without realizing it. Cell sends a key blast towards both Goku and Vegeta as they barely dodge it, but still get hit by some of the impact. Everyone grows a worried look on their face, but Raditz powers up saying that they cannot just sit there and watch as he and Turles ghost fight Cell. Both Gohan and Turles are afraid, but Piccolo and Nappa would go after to fight Cell as well. Cell would be beating on everyone who tries to get near him as the Z fighters are just being pummeled. Gohan sees this and feels enraged that he is too weak, but he then sees that his uncle is getting punched repeatedly, that he gets even more angry, to where he begins to power up as he yells loudly, transforming to his own Super Saiyan 2 transformation, but in a more unstable state as he has no pupil showing right now. Turles and Trunks sees this and shocks both of them, and Trunks sees how Gohan was such a powerful and determined fighter that he is reminded of him, of his own Gohan. Gohan would rush to Cell with Trunks and Turles backing him up. Now both Trunks and Turles wouldn't last long in the fight between Gohan and Cell. They go at each other with immense force, but Gohan is not on the winning side. Gohan is out of control and unstable. With this new power that Cell has, he has the advantage and begins sucker punching him in the stomach. Goku and Vegeta gets up as they both start seeing all their friends beaten and only Gohan fighting Cell. They think about what they should do, but Vegeta powers up to Super Saiyan 2 and says that they must fight Cell with all they got. Goku powers up as well and they both rush down Cell. Cell sees this and drops Gohan as he is knocked out, and all three of them begin to clash. Goku and Vegeta could try to use teamwork to overpower Cell, but it's not enough. Cell is able to take all the blows that he takes from both of them. Goku would even power up a Kamehameha wave, but it would barely phase his Cell. Away, Broly slowly tries to get up, seeing his father trying to wake him up, but soon realizes that his father is gone again, and he turns to see other friends heavily beaten as he sees the newly powered up Cell fighting Goku and Vegeta. Broly has a feeling of guilt, that it's his fault that Cell wasn't beaten, and now came back even stronger than before and beating everyone. The guilt overtakes him as he powers up into his wrathful state and joins Goku and Vegeta to fight Cell. All three of them coordinate their attacks, hitting Cell with amazing powerful combos. For a bit, they actually are able to overpower Cell, but Cell grows stronger, and then overpowers all three of them and sends them all flying. They all get up and Goku says that they have to come up with a plan to beat Cell. Broly gives the idea that they have to completely erase Cell so that he does not have a chance to regenerate. Vegeta agrees with Broly, but they will only have one chance to completely blow him away. Goku smiles, saying that they have to give every ounce of energy they have to end this. They all begin to power up to their max form, and then all stacking Kaioken on top of that. They all rush Cell to beat on him for a short while, then proceed to send him into the sky. They all charge their respective blasts at Cell. Seeing this, Cell charges his own Kamehameha and starts this beam struggle between the two groups. Cell starts to win the struggle as the others try their hardest to push it back, but it's not looking too good right now. They think it might be over for them, but suddenly the load feels a lot lighter as they look back to see all the other fighters. Gohan, Trunks, Turles, Raditz, Turles, Piccolo, and Nappa shooting their own blasts to help out with the struggle. With this new aid, they begin to take over the beam struggle and Cell tries to push it back, but he wasn't able to. With one more final big push, Cell was getting consumed with the blast as he finally gets completely erased and there's no coming back for him, as everyone powers down and falls over celebrating the victory. Dende, King Kai, and the humans witness this victory and all celebrate with their great defeat of Cell. The fights will all return to a lookout to wish back the fallen with the Dragon Balls, and good news, Goku does not die.
Now, before we get into the Buu Saga, let's talk about what happened during the 7-year time skip of peace. Now, a few big differences is that there are a lot more Saiyans on Earth, and more importantly, Goku is not dead. So, with the Sun family, Gohan will be continuing his education, but the difference is that he will never stop training, and he will train with Goku and Broly. With Goten, he will know his father, and when he gets old enough, he trains with Goku and Broly a lot, and even be able to perfect the Super Saiyan transformation, and a young age being a fighting prodigy. Now, both Goku and Broly living nearby each other, they will train most of the time, with Vegeta joining sometimes, but now I could say that in strength, Goku is much stronger than Vegeta. Goku perfected Super Saiyan 2, but will never find out about the Super Saiyan 3 transformation. But that is fine since Super Saiyan 3 has its major drawbacks, like no eyebrows. So it's okay that Goku hasn't unlocked it yet. With Broly, he will perfect his Super Saiyan transformation, but never access his legendary Super Saiyan form. Again, as it is still unstable for him. Now over to Vegeta's family. Nappa has just been chilling, helping out around the capsule core and being another uncle for Kid Trunks. He wouldn't be training as hard as the others, but definitely doesn't get soft. Tarbles has been training a lot with Vegeta and learned the Super Saiyan 2 transformation. Vegeta will be training mainly with his brother and his son, and sometimes they would have training sessions with Goku's family. Vegeta is kind of jealous that Goku has a strong training partner with Broly, and how much more Goku has grown without him. Kid Trunks in this timeline would also be stronger, but unlike Goten, he doesn't really care too much about training, as he has not mastered Super Saiyan like Goten. Now with Turles and Raditz during the halfway point of the 7 years, they decided to go out to space because they are still Saiyan warriors, and they weren't used to the time of peace and wanted the thrill of battle, and decided to leave, but no one heard from them since they left. Bulma did create a spaceship for them that they were able to train in, so they both most likely have gotten stronger, but currently no one knows about their location. Piccolo during the time of peace was at the lookout, training, or at King Kai's place, mostly with Tien, since he was the only human that kept on training constantly. With Krillin and Yamcha, they were slacking heavily on their training, being close to stopping, but Piccolo and Tien decided for them to keep on training and push them so that they don't start being behind everyone again. 2 years before the start of the Buu saga, since they all decided to stay with King Kai so much, King Kai actually introduced them to the Supreme Kai. And the Supreme Kai took interest with these 4 fighters and took them all in to train them, to prepare for them, a special threat that was coming soon, but did not exactly tell them what it was. Piccolo and Tien were excited about this, but both Krillin and Yamcha had their doubts. But with a pep talk from Tien, saying this could be their chance to be equal on ground with the Saiyans, and this will be their own form of strength without the Saiyans' genes, they ended up changing their minds, and joined the other 2. At the Supreme Kai's place, they all began their training, and each took a turn with the Z-Sword, and all had their struggles, but surprisingly, Yamcha was the best one with a sword, as he was a swordsman during his time as a bandit. He would end up breaking the sword, which would shock everyone, but then an old man would appear from the sword, as it was the Elder Kai, which this would shock everyone, especially the other Kais. Elder Kai would thank Yamcha by doing the ritual to increase his power, and this would give Yamcha the mystic form. And the other 3 would ask Elder Kai to also give them the ritual, and since they were all training to prepare for a future threat, Elder Kai unleashed all their potential. With this power boost, they were all on par with some of the strongest Saiyans, so this new confidence gave them the boost to train even harder for the next 2 years. Alright, so quickly, let's do a power scaling. Broly is stronger than Goku, who is stronger than Vegeta. Vegeta is stronger than Gohan. Yamcha is stronger than Piccolo, which Piccolo is stronger than Tien, Krillin, and Tarbles. Goten is stronger than Trunks, and I believe that's it. Now finally, let us begin with the Buu saga. Gohan will still continue to go to school as normal, and even become the Golden Warrior, but not really get the idea of becoming the Great Saiyan Man, but keep the identity of the Golden Warrior. Other than that, his school life would remain the same, just with the hero identity being different, but would still meet Videl as normal. Goku would get the idea of everyone going to the next world tournament, and everyone would agree. Everyone would train, and Videl would meet Gohan's family, with this being a different experience, as she would meet the entire family, plus Broly and Paragus. Her training she would receive would be completely different, as Goku would help Videl with training, and in the end, Videl would be much stronger than she was canonly. Not only being able to fly well, but could control her own ki and even make her own Kamehameha wave. Vegeta hearing these news of the tournament, he pushes both his brother and Trunks to train harder, especially Trunks, so he can beat Goten. And during the harsh training, Trunks transcends to the Super Saiyan 2 state, but being too unstable with this does put a smile on Vegeta's face. The tournament arrives and everyone meets up, but their surprises grew more when they all saw Piccolo and the humans all arrive at the tournament as they haven't seen them all in years, but more shockingly, how powerful they grew. Goku is glad to see them and asks them what they have been up to now, and how they have grown so much. Krillin explains that they have trained hard these last 2 years as a new threat has appeared on Earth, explaining it all to everyone. Krillin explains that there is a wizard called Babidi that is trying to spawn in one of the biggest threats to be ever created in the universe, called Majin Buu. Their plan is to let Babidi's henchmen collect some energy from them so they can lead them to Babidi's secret hideout, so they can find Buu and destroy him before he can be released again. Goku can tell Krillin how serious the situation is, and the group knows what they must do, but first, the kids tournament will play. Now, this tournament would be the same as Goten and Trunks, easily take out the entire competition, they suck, Saiyans, it's totally fair, and the main battle between them will begin. This fight will start out as equal, as Goten will be staying in his base form, but he would easily be beating Trunks, as he is a much smarter fighter than Trunks until he pushes Trunks to go Super Saiyan. Goten, knowing Trunks was gonna break the rules, he transformed as well, but with this Goten is still the one on top as he perfected his Super Saiyan form. Trunks starts to get angry, he begins pushing his power and charges up. Everyone is surprised with this fight, as they did not notice how strong these kids were, but Vegeta just smirks as he knows his son has a card up his sleeve. Trunks continues power up. He ends up transforming into his Super Saiyan 2 state, even though it is still unstable. Goten is sort of surprised as Trunks gets a good punch at Goten, which sends Goten flying, but he quickly recovers and gets a good plan for Trunks to use up all his energy. Goten begins to mock Trunks and makes fun of him, as this would provoke Trunks, and he would rush to Goten, shooting ki blasts all over, but Goten would deflect them or dodge them and quickly strike Trunks when he is open. This will go on until Trunks is starting to feel exhausted and shows it. Goten would see this and use this as his chance to rush down Trunks and begin striking with multiple quick attacks and invading the fight, with pushing him off the ring and Goten winning the tournament. This would greatly anger Vegeta, yelling at Goku on what he taught his brat to fight like that, and Goku just laughs it off. Everyone is enjoying their time, but also being worried about this possible threat. Finally, the entry of the tournament will be different, as there are a lot more stronger fighters than in canon. So with the removal of the normal humans, and the Kais here, are the new brackets. Fight 1, Krillin vs Yamcha. Fight 2 will be Piccolo vs Tien. Fight 3 will be Videl vs Popovich. Is that Russian? Fight 4 will be Gohan vs Broly. Fight 5 will be Mr. Satan versus Turtles. Fight 6 will be Goku versus Vegeta. Fight 7 will be Mighty Mask versus Nappa. And finally, Fight 8 will be Yamu versus Paragus. Now, this tournament will go on completely different. Both Yamcha and Krillin know what they are doing, and know about Spopovich and Yamu being under the control of Babidi. With the M on their head, Krillin begins to power up, and everyone seeing this begins to feel shocked, as Tien smirks, saying that they have found a way to catch up. Goku feels proud and hopes for a potential to fight with his friends. This energy catches the eye of both Spopovich and Yamu, and they strike Krillin to absorb their energy. Krillin allows this to happen and lets them fly off for a bit, and then tells everyone to follow them. Everyone leaves, besides Mr. Satan and Mighty Mask, as they would be the only ones left, so Mr. Satan keeps his title as the champ!
So, do they know what's going on with his name, or... Hail Satan! Hail Satan!
Anyways, the Sea Fighters made it to Babidi's little hideout and saw that Spopovich and Yamu were blown up as they saw Dabura. Now, the 4 who trained under the Kai knows about Dabura, but aren't afraid of him. Yamcha would rush him down and easily, with one blast, completely erase him. They would destroy the device with Krillin's energy. Everyone would try to go into the building, but Yamcha stops them, saying that Babidi must have a trick to try to control someone or take their energy, to give to Boo, so only he would go in to get Boo. Yamcha would head inside and the others would wait outside. A few minutes would pass as Yamcha would return back, holding Babidi and Boo's eggs. While he is having a moment to himself, boasting how great he is, Supreme Kai would appear and thank everyone for preventing Boo from being born, as Supreme Kai would erase Babidi and take the egg to properly dispose of the threat. Before he leaves, Goku asks if it is possible to train with him, seeing how strong his friends got, and Supreme Kai says he can't teach them much, but they are welcome to come by, after stopping this threat. So Goku, Broly, and Vegeta would go with Krillin and the others to the Kai's planet to go train over there. Goten would have liked to go, but his mother wouldn't have liked it. Gohan would cheer his brother by offering to train him, as Trunks and Tarbles would join them, so they wouldn't feel left out. They get to the Kai's place and meet the elder Kai, as he is surprised to meet them. Krillin offers if they would like their potential unlocked to get their power boost, but all three of the Saiyans refuse to gain power like that, as they just wanted to gain power their own way. Before their training began, Goku wanted to see how strong they have gotten, so Yamcha, being the strongest, would fight Goku. Goku at first would want to hold back, but this would be a mistake as Yamcha would go all out and Goku is caught off guard. Goku transforms into his perfected Super Saiyan 2 state and tries to equal the power, but Yamcha smiles, saying that Goku should prepare himself and stacks Kaioken going up to level 20. And this pushed Goku far back as he gets up to see Yamcha handling times 20 Kaioken as if it was nothing. Yamcha smirks, saying that he has truly did surpass the Saiyans. Goku smirks, saying that there might be something that can close the gap. Goku isn't too sure if this would work, but he feels a power that is greater than this, and he begins charging up. The planet begins to rumble, and this shocks the Kais. Goku yells so loud that it goes out into space. Goku's ki increases greatly, and his hair begins to grow. He begins to lose his eyebrows. Actually, hold on, not gonna lie. Who thought of taking out the eyebrows for Super Saiyan 3? Like, imagine Vegeta with Super Saiyan 3. That big ass full head, McDonald, that hairline. Oh, I'm sorry. Anyways, Goku screams out loudly, and everyone is blinded by the immense aura as they look at Goku once more to see him transform into what he calls Super Saiyan 3. He never transformed into that before, but he felt something after Super Saiyan 2. But soon after, Goku passes out as he's not used to the immense power. Yamcha catches Goku, saying that Goku is truly incredible, but he is glad he did not fight Goku in that state, as that power did surpass him. Vegeta smiles, saying to never underestimate a Saiyan, but does compliment them for reaching this level of power. Then they would all begin training once more, knowing that there aren't any threats being present and the Earth is safe. For now.
Y'all thought that was it? Nope! We got a little preview for y'all for the next part! With a little spin-off of the adventure of Raditz and Turles. Now, when they left Earth, they went around two planets, fighting any bad guys that were terrorizing innocent people. They trained and grew stronger together, unlocking Super Saiyan 2, and even picking up some techniques along the way. They went to a planet called Yardrat and trained there for a while, and learned all the abilities they have, like instant transmission, healing, force spirit fission, and gigantification. They even almost completely wiped out any remaining Frieza planets. They grew in reputation around the galaxy, being known as heroes, but they'd rather be called mercenaries, as they fight for the thrill, not really to help people. They come across a man named Jaco, who was a member of the Galactic Patrol, as he asked what their motive was. They were honest, and explaining that they only wanted to fight powerful opponents. Jaco laughs nervously, but then offers them a position in the Galactic Patrol, because they need some help fighting some strong fighters. Turles and Raditz look at each other in excitement. Now, like we said in the last part, they left during the halfway points of the time skip, so we got 3.5 years to talk about. When they first left, they trained harshly,
trying to aim for the goal of the Super Saiyan 2 transformation. Some of the first many planets they arrived at ended up being some of the remaining Frieza planets that was ruled by his old soldiers, but they easily killed all of the soldiers and brought the planet to its independence. One of the Frieza planets had Sorbet, the one who resurrected Frieza. So without really knowing, they ended up preventing the future saga of Resurrection F. Around a year into their adventure, they landed on a planet, but it looked completely destroyed. They barely sense any energy, but then they hear a voice of two people behind them. They turn around to see two blue pirate-looking people. They introduce themselves as Beto and Kogu, members of Bojack's crew. Raditz and Turles looked at each other, never hearing about this crew. They begin to laugh. This angers Beto and Kogu as they rush down Raditz and Turles, but they transform into the perfected Super Saiyan transformation. And without any trouble, they both erase the pirates with a single ki blast. They decided to look for the remaining of the members in the planet, hoping for a good fight, but after easily killing the other two, they didn't think this crew would be any show of threat. They would split up to cover more ground, but that would end up biting them back in the butt. Turles would end up being attacked while he had his guard down. Bujin would trap Turles, not letting him move, as both Bojack and Zangya would blast Turles with full force. This would seriously injure Turles, as he was almost out of the fight completely. Raditz would sense the drop in Turles' ki and would immediately head to his direction. Raditz transforms into his Super Saiyan state. Note, at this point in time, he hasn't gotten Super Saiyan 2 yet, as they are only in their first year of traveling to space. When he arrives, he sees Turles' body on the floor, as he goes to Turles, asking if he was alright. Weakly, Turles would try to warn Raditz, but it would be too late, as Bojack would attack, but Raditz would be able to grab Turles and narrowly dodge the attack. Raditz hides Turles and goes to fight Bojack and his crew. Bujin would try to trap Raditz like he did to Turles, as Zangya would shoot a ki blast. Seeing this, Raditz stacks Kaioken times 5 with Super Saiyan and breaks free from Bujin's trap and shoots a powerful double Sunday at both the pirates, and they would try to hold the blast off, but Raditz wasn't holding back, as this attack easily engulfs both of them completely, erasing them. Seeing this, Bojack gets angry and slightly worried as he powers up to transform into his green skin form. I don't know what they call it. Full power Bojack. Kinda weird how he needs to change skin tone in order to grow more in power. Not gonna lie, Bojack kinda sus. Anyways, he would transform and be beating on Raditz. Now with Raditz stacking Kaioken with Super Saiyan, he is being beaten by Bojack easily. He tries to fight back, but Bojack, being much more powerful, isn't faced by the attacks. In the background, Turles sees this and tries to get up even after all the damage he took. He would power up to a Super Saiyan state and goes to aid Raditz. Now, Bojack being too busy with Raditz, he doesn't realize Turles, and Turles takes this chance to try to kill Bojack, as he charges up a kill driver and shoots it at Bojack, which hits him in the back, and this angers him even more, as he felt the attack. He drops Raditz and begins beating on Turles. Raditz seeing this, he grows enraged. He learned to care about Turles with the time they spent together and being alike, as he ended up seeing Turles as a good friend. He felt powerless, as he couldn't do much to save him. All these feelings grew and mixed in his head. He powers up enraged as his power grows greatly, and before he knows it, Raditz had become a Super Saiyan 2. Bojack sees this, being completely shocked, as he would throw Turles at Raditz and shoots a ki blast to kill Turles, but Raditz is able to catch Turles and deflect the attack. Raditz would put Turles down and go fight Bojack. Now this will be different than how it was when Gohan fought Bojack. The difference is that Raditz doesn't have the same potential as Gohan, so this fight will be a lot closer. With Raditz already heavily damaged, this fight will be a lot closer, but Raditz still having the upper hand, Bojack would try everything to fight off Raditz, but Raditz would be able to fight back, as this fight will be close, as Raditz would sucker punch Bojack in the stomach, and this would hurt Bojack greatly, as he is on his knees. Raditz would walk off, saying it's no use fighting him, no more. But this will piss off Bojack, as he shoots one final blast towards Raditz to try to kill him. But Raditz will turn shooting his own blast, which erases Bojack completely. Raditz would fall over, powering down Super Saiyan 2 and crawl his way to Turles. He picks him up and heads to their ship. Raditz, having used up so much of his energy, he passes out and puts a random coordinate, and then not knowing where they're already heading, everything is black as they hear many voices. They are scared of Raditz and Turles as they know they are Saiyans, but then someone speaks up, saying that they must aid them quickly. Raditz wakes up being surrounded by the Mechians, as they all get afraid and run away from Raditz. He tries to get up, but needs aid as he is still very injured, as an elder Mori enters, speaking to Raditz. Raditz asks why did he save both of them, as Mori says it was the right thing to do, and a few years ago they were visited by some other Saiyans that were somewhat good in nature, and recently they have heard the news of two Saiyans fighting off the remaining Frieza forces, and doing good deeds, as he believed it was them. Mori would proceed to Raditz, placing his hand on Raditz's head, and read his memory, as he would see him being friendly. Mori would then fully heal up Raditz and Turles, as they would thank them. They would prepare to leave, but dealt with a problem, as their ship had been destroyed on the landing, which kinda bummed them out. Raditz would think about the Dragon Balls, and ask Mori if they can use it to get a new ship, but Mori looks down, saying that recently, the Dragon Balls have been used for something evil. They explained not long ago, there was a tyrant on their planet, and used the Dragon Balls to wish them immortality, youth, and power. They were taken off guard, as the tyrant was Lord Slug. He became a powerful foe, and no one on their planet would be able to beat him, as Nail ever since he was being trained diligently to become strong, as he even fused with most of the warrior Namekians to gain strength. But even after all of that, and its potential being unlocked by Mori, he isn't nowhere near strong enough to fight Lord Slug. Raditz and Turles say they would help them defeat this foe, and then take Lord Slug's ship. Mori thanks them, but even then, he is not sure there will be enough, but he tells them that Lord Slug would return in a few months, so they shouldn't waste more time. Mori would unlock both Raditz and Turles' potential, and this gives them a big increase in power, and they began their training with Nail. And now, Nail is near in strength with Raditz in his Super Saiyan 2 state, so Raditz and Turles' goal is to get a good grip on the Super Saiyan 2 form. Their training is intense, as that's all they did during the few months. But Turles wasn't having any luck with transforming into the Super Saiyan 2 transformation, as this angers him, but then he thought about something as he looks at his tail that he still has. One day he tells Raditz the idea, and Raditz believes he is crazy for trying something like this, but Turles would still try it. Turles will transform into his Great Ape transformation, and this alerts Nail as he rushes over and asks Raditz what is Turles doing. But Raditz says that Turles has the idea of combining the Super Saiyan state with the Great Ape form, and possibly combining both powers together. Turles has control of his Great Ape form, but then when he tries to stack Super Saiyan, that's when it goes bad. Turles losing control, and the planet begins shaking as his Great Ape becomes golden. Raditz is surprised that it's working, but Turles begins to destroy the surrounding area as Nail gets upset at Raditz for not letting this happen, as he prepares to deal with Turles. But then Turles takes control of his ape form, as a big shiny golden aura builds up as everyone is blinded. But when the bright light is gone, Turles is seen with long spiky hair, with red fur around his body. Raditz and Nail are stunned by this power, and ask what it is. Now, it would be impractical to call it Super Saiyan 4, as you know, they haven't seen Super Saiyan 3. Actually, no one has seen Super Saiyan 3 at this point. So, you know, something else that we could call it is Perfected Ape Form, but just to keep it simple, we'll call it Super Saiyan 4 to not cause any confusion. So, Raditz is astonished by this power and would want to try to obtain it himself. But he wouldn't have enough time, as not soon after, Lord Slug would arrive at Namek. He leaves his ship, ready to use the Dragon Balls again. But then is greeted by Nail, as he prepares to stop him. But Lord Slug laughs, saying he cannot beat him. But then Slug is kicked, as he is sent launching into a nearby mountain, as he gets up to see two Saiyans, Turles in his newly found Super Saiyan 4 transformation, and Raditz in his Super Saiyan 2 form. They waste no time as they rush down Slug, beating him, and they both charge up their respective blast and shoot it at Slug. Smoke would clear as Slug comes out with all its injuries, regenerating as he didn't take any damage. Slug would begin powering up as he would rush down both the Saiyans, grabbing them and smashing them down into the ground. They would try to attack Slug from the back, but it wouldn't even phase Slug a bit as Slug would grab Nail and send him flying and then shoot a ki blast that would hit Nail full force, almost killing him. Raditz and Turles would fight Slug with teamwork and started getting the edge of the fight, but Slug is managing to handle both of them without having any trouble, and then sends Raditz away, giving him a big gut punch that brings him to his base form, as he looks over that Turles is actually managing his own against Slug, as Raditz realizes that if he had Super Saiyan 4 as well, they will be able to completely erase Slug, since Raditz was the weaker one. He flies over to the Namekians with Nail quickly and asks for the Namekians to heal both of them, as they do, but Raditz is the only one to fly back to the battle. Raditz sees that Turles is beginning to struggle as he focuses to create an energy ball to transform himself into the Great Ape form. As he then stacks Super Saiyan on the form and loses control as he begins to fight both Turles and Slug, but soon he begins to take over and a bright yellow light flashes everywhere as Raditz is revealed to obtain Super Saiyan 4. But he quickly aids in Turles, telling him that they must end this quickly, as he isn't sure how long he could hold this form. Slug seeing this, he's at a disadvantage. He transforms into his giant form, but this doesn't stop the Saiyans, as together they fight Slug, hitting him at his weak points together with full force as they get Slug to the ground, as then they both uppercut him at the same time, which will send him flying upwards, and together they charge their blast again, but this time with full force. This combined force pushes Slug out of the planet and sends him to a nearby sun, where Slug would face a terrible fate with not being able to die so forever, would be burning and healing. Terrible fate, not gonna lie, kinda dark, but if you think about it. Toasting the Namekian meat, sorry. Anyways, the Namekians would be grateful to the Saiyans and thank them for being in their debt. They would just want to bring some food on their journey back in space, as they would pack up and take Slug's ship to continue their journey in space. Now, they wouldn't really be training as the ship wasn't built for it, but after a month, they landed on a nearby planet, being planet Yardrat. They will meet the people, and seeing all their techniques, they will be intrigued. Then, they're introduced to Elder Pibara. God, I'm hoping I'm saying that right. Who in the manga trained Vegeta and Goku the instant transmission. They would ask for them to be able to train under him to learn this amazing technique. Use and Pibara, I'm really hoping I'm saying this right, knowing about these two Saiyans would allow this for the next few months. They would train and learn all the techniques of the Yardrat people during their time training. This is when they meet Jakko. At this point, the Z fighters on Earth defeated the threat of Boo. Jack would ask them if they would like to join the Galactic Patrol, as they would deny it, but then Jakko would trick them, saying it is such a shame that they would miss the chance at fighting strong opponents. Hearing that, they changed their minds and joined the Galactic Patrol, but refused to wear their ridiculous uniforms. They will make it to the planet, and they meet another Galactic Patrol member called Merus. Mirus? I don't know. The Saiyans are interested in Mirus, as he's the most powerful Galactic Patrol member. So in case y'all don't know who Mirus is, as he's only in the manga of Dragon Ball Super, he is basically an angel in disguise. He was trained by Whis and was sent to be mortal to see his view on how other mortals live. But basically he is really strong, and these two are meeting an angel far before Dragon Ball Super. Oh yeah, spoilers by the way, I'm sorry. They would ask if they can spar with Mirus to get an idea of how strong he accepts the challenge, but warns not to hold back. Turles and Raditz transform into their Super Saiyan 4 transformation again, and begin the battle, but before anyone even notices it, Turles knocks out flat on the ground. Raditz is shocked, as he didn't even have time to process what just happened, as he would try to attack Mirus, but Mirus would easily dodge all of his attacks, and with one punch completely forces Raditz into his base form. Raditz is lost for words, as he cannot believe how strong this person is, even with their newly found power of Super Saiyan 4. Raditz asks how did he get this strong, but Mears just walks away. Jackos tries to tell Raditz not to feel bad, as Mears is the strongest member, and now the two Saiyans are under him in strength. Who is cutting grass? When Turles wakes up, Raditz explains what had happened, and then they begin training fiercely, as their goal is to beat Mears. Away, Mears contacts Whis and tells him that he believes that he has found the Super Saiyan gods that Beerus has been looking for. Whis tells Mears to train them up so that they would be prepared for Beerus. But Mears exclaims that they seem too weak to possibly put any excitement to Beerus. Now, we are at the Battle of the Gods arc. During the time skip, everyone kept up with their training, especially Raditz and Turles. They have been training with Mears, who is an angel. They have been mastering their Super Saiyan 4 transformation, and even learned how to sense God Ki. Everyone on Earth has been the same besides the fact that Goku has been training a lot with other Saiyans. Goku will still be at King Kai's planet, but with his son Goten, while everyone else is at the party. Trunks is upset that Goten is getting ahead of him with his training, since he was forced to stay at Bulma's party. Everyone in there is having a good time, even Paragus surprisingly. Broly had ended up starting a family with Bulma's sister, which surprised everyone that Bulma had a sister and soon Broly was gonna have his own kid. On Beerus' planet, he finally awakes and sees his vision of fighting a Super Saiyan god. Whis tells him about the Saiyans that have been training with Mears, and potentially them being the Super Saiyan god. He has been seeing. Beerus yells at Whis saying he wants to go see them at this instant, as they took no time to waste to head to Raditz and Turles. Raditz and Turles have been doing some light sparring. Their reputation quickly grew in the Galactic Patrol, as they started to like being called heroes. Mears heads to them and prepares them for a visit of Beerus, and explains to them who Beerus is. They both are shocked that the God of Destruction is real. They heard myths about him during their time in the patrol, but never thought he was real. Beerus arrives, eager to meet the Saiyans. Mears introduces them to Beerus, and Beerus instantly says that he wants to fight right now, with an angry tone. This kind of installs some fear in Raditz and Turles, but they transform into Super Saiyan 4 and begin attacking Beerus. They are able to sense his energy, and know they are no match, but they give it their all. Their power is intense, shaking up the entire planet, but to Beerus, it's almost nothing. He is impressed that mortals could get this strong, but this isn't the Super Saiyan God that he had in mind. He quickly ends the fight by flicking both of them out of their Super Saiyan 4 state. This opponent bewilders both of the Saiyans on how strong he is. Beerus is upset about not fighting the Super Saiyan God, as he asks Whis if there's any other Saiyans, and Whis says that there's a Saiyan on King Kai's planet, and a few on Earth. Beerus says they will visit King Kai, and then Earth. If there is no Super Saiyan God, he will just destroy the planet as they head off. Raditz and Turles get worried for the others, and quickly try to use the Ascension's transmission to head back to Earth, but their luck isn't so good. Supreme Kai and Elder Kai would warn King Kai of Beerus' arrival, and they get contacted by Turles and Raditz, asking for assistance to be teleported to Earth, as they can grab a high enough energy level to teleport to. The Kais would warn Vegeta, Tien, Yamcha, Krillin, and Piccolo about the impending danger. They do grow worried, but quickly hatch out a plan. Meanwhile, Vegeta will power up his ki so that Raditz and Turles could teleport to Earth. They all huddled up trying to figure out a plan. Raditz and Turles tell them about how they cannot fight him, as they will lose even with their newfound power. They call it Perfected Uzaru. Vegeta does feel left behind that both Raditz and Turles surpassed him in strength, but they go past that and try to figure out how to stop Beerus. On King Kai's planet, he tries to hide Goku and Goten, but ends up being useless as they are spotted by the god and Angel. While Goku still acts the same as usual, Goten has a bit more manners and shows respect to the visitors. Goku would still ask to fight Beerus, and that would go down the same, even with Goten trying to jump in, but Beerus easily handles both of them. Now he is more angry than he was before, when going to Earth, as now he met 4 Saiyans, and now one of them has been the Super Saiyan God he has been searching. King Kai warns the others, on Earth, that Beerus is coming, and that he is looking for the Super Saiyan God. They will all wonder what it is, even Vegeta isn't too sure of what it is. Piccolo comes up with a plan to get the Dragon Balls to summon Shenron to ask him if he knows. As they go do that, but before they could, Beerus arrives. Krillin would go find the Dragon Balls while the others hold off Beerus. Now, Beerus is not in a good mood, as even the food won't calm him down. Instantly, he demands the Super Saiyan God, but this does not go right with Bulma, as both her and her sister begin yelling at Beerus. This annoys Beerus, and he sends a small ki blast, and it explodes nearby both Bulma and her sister, and severely hurts them. Seeing this, both Vegeta and Broly get enraged, as they both charge at Beerus with the intent to kill. The other fighters see this, and back them up. Now they are trying to outnumber Beerus, but it doesn't pose a threat to the God of Destruction, as he easily dispatches the weaker fighters, like Tien, Piccolo, Gohan, Trunks, Nappa, Paragus, and Yamcha. Turles and Raditz are barely hanging on, even with their perfected Uzaru form, but even then, plus Vegeta gets knocked down with ease. Beerus tries to have his fun with Broly, as he notices that Broly gets stronger the longer he's in battle, as he believes this might be the Super Saiyan God he has been looking for. Their battle begins to cause major damage around them, causing major pressure waves every contact they make. But even with this great power that Broly has, Beerus knows that it's still not enough, but he does grow interested with his fighter, as that he has great power but cannot manage to control it as he knocks out Broly. He throws him to the others and says that he is disappointed that he cannot fight this legendary Super Saiyan God, as he prepares to blow up the planet, but then Krillin stops him, saying that they could possibly still summon the Super Saiyan God with the Dragon Balls. Beerus allows them to summon Shenron, as they will ask him, and around this time, Goku would appear. Shenron would explain how to do the ritual, and then it becomes a question on who will fight Beerus with the form. Raditz and Turles turn it down, as they rather learn to even greater their strength with the form they found. Then they'll look at Broly, but he's still down from his wounds while fighting Beerus. Then it's up to Goku, but Vegeta doesn't like it, but Goku does pose the idea of them fusing with using the form. Vegeta yells saying that he wants to fight himself, but since Vegeta really does not want to be left behind, being in last place, he angrily agrees. The ritual will be on both Goku and Vegeta, as they are now Super Saiyan God, and then they fuse into Gogeta, as Super Saiyan God Gogeta is born. Beerus gets eager and their fight begins. Now this fight between the two warriors is much greater than it was in canon, with Vegeta being a lot more powerful than Goku. They would fly around the planet, exchanging powerful attacks that would be shaking the earth. Beerus gets excited and begins to lose control, and this causes Gogeta to use more energy. They will get underground and continue fighting, as Gogeta would charge a Stardust Breaker attack using all their energy, hoping that this could end the battle. Beerus will see this and charge up his own attack, as he wanted to test how strong Gogeta could be. They throw their respective blasts at each other. As they collide, Beerus is surprised that their attack is holding off his own. Seeing this, Gogeta charges up a Big Bang Kamehameha using whatever left energy they have, as when they charge the attack, they both were brought back to their base form without realizing it, and shoot their blast at Beerus, but Beerus shows no worries, but excitement as he left the attack come at him, but in an instant, made the entire attack vanish with the palm of his hand, as he tells Gogeta that it was impressive. Gogeta's face grew tired as he put a lot into those attacks. Beerus points out that the form is gone as Gogeta gets scared, but Beerus explains that they absorbed the God Ki, and now it's a part of them. Right after they defused, Beerus says that it was fun, but he still wants more as he threatens to blow up the earth, and this gives the boost to keep fighting. With Goku and Vegeta going into Super Saiyan and begin fighting Beerus again, their fight seems even more intense than it was when Gogeta. Their fight goes up to space as Beerus charges up a big destroyer blast that could completely destroy the planet. They both tried their hardest trying to push the attack back, but they aren't strong enough. But similar to how it happened in the anime, they both hear everyone cheering for them, and having even more with the pride of the Saiyans race on their heart, they yell out loudly, absorbing the attack and powering up as they charge up their respective attack. While doing so, a blue aura charges around the two, as their hair gets a blue color, and it is as they release their powerful attacks. Beerus has a big grin as he is happy to see his challenge as he shoots his own blast, and when it connects, a huge pressure wave is released that the entire planet can see. Both Goku and Vegeta are passed out as Beerus is satisfied as he brings them back to Earth. Everyone is worried that he couldn't defeat Beerus, but Beerus notifies them that they will not destroy their planet as he is happy with the fight. Beerus will prepare to leave, but both Goku and Vegeta slowly get up, asking if they can train with him, so that in the future they can give him a proper fight. Beerus gets happy hearing that as he allows them to, and tells them to bring those other Saiyans, as he points out to Broly, Raditz, and Turles, as they're all happy to train with the God of Destruction. Goten would like to go too, but he isn't allowed to. The hybrid Saiyans all kind of feel down with being far behind, but Gohan says that he's gonna pick up his training, and the two younger Saiyans would follow with him, as they all go to Piccolo to teach them, as they all have a better found purpose to get even stronger. Piccolo explains that they must get stronger as this was a close call. He explains to Gohan that they must prepare the next generation, because not all the time, Goku or the others will be there on the planet to help out. Gohan understands, saying that he and the others will give it their all to prepare for any future threat. Now, continuing from the Battle of Gods arc will be the Universe 6 vs Universe 7 tournament. There won't be any Resurrection F arc because of Raditz and Turles finishing off the rest of the Frieza Force during their time away from Earth, so that arc is skipped. During the time jump, most of the Saiyans have been training with Whis, besides Broly, as Beerus has been focusing on him mostly. Raditz and Turles were learning to perfect their own transformation, as they have some experience training with an angel already. Goku and Vegeta have unlocked the Super Saiyan Blue transformation, and are close to perfecting it, with the surplus of training partners they have. Broly with his training with Beerus, he learns to control his legendary Super Saiyan state without losing control and going crazy, but as of right now, Broly stands strongest among the group. Even from time to time, Gohan, Trunks, and Goten will visit for a short amount of time and get close to sensing God Ki, and Gohan was a quick learner and got the grasp to sense God Ki. Champa would arrive at Beerus' planet as usual, and would get into a quarrel that they would try to see whose universe got the better food, which doesn't get anywhere, but then the idea of a tournament of each universe's warriors will come to fruition based on Goku's idea. The Saiyans all agree, being excited to meet foes from other universes. The team would be very simple, as the whole team needed is on the planet already. Everyone would go as usual, as the Z Fighters would go to watch the Saiyans and see how strong they grew. Now with the test, they take everyone would pass with Goku barely passing, and Broly only being a bit smarter than him. The order would go as follows: Raditz, Turles, Vegeta, Goku, and finally, Broly. Now, Manaka would not be needed, as in canon, Beerus only brought him to encourage both Goku and Vegeta to keep training, but with other Saiyans being here, Manaka would not be needed. The first match will be between Raditz and Botomo, and it will go similar to how it did in canon. Raditz will try to overpower Botomo, but realize that Botomo can absorb as much damage as he can throw. With Raditz being a lot smarter than Goku, he would quickly think of a plan of throwing Botomo off, which ends the fight quickly. The next match will be Raditz vs Frost. Seeing Frost, Raditz is angry as it reminds him of the intense battle they all had many years ago, and now he is even killed by Frieza back then. When the battle begins, he powers up the Super Saiyan 4 state and quickly takes Frost out of the ring, saying that he will never trust anyone who looks like Frieza, even if they are from another universe. So Frost is eliminated, much more quickly, and his true persona is never revealed. Next match will put Raditz against Vegeta, and Raditz would throw powerful attacks, but Vegeta would also tank all the attacks, and this would annoy Raditz as he starts getting angry after his first annoying opponent doing the same thing and even fighting someone who resembled Frieza. He calls Vegeta a big metal piece of garbage, and then he would realize what Vegeta's weakness is, and then take it to his advantage, as Raditz yells out many mean things to Vegeta until he cries out of the ring. Most of the Saiyans are jealous that Raditz is beating everyone and not giving them a chance to fight, as they see Raditz boasting. Next match will consist of Raditz vs Kaba. This will shock all of them to learn that Kaba is a Saiyan. This gets Raditz happy to hear, but he points out that the old Saiyan gear and no tail. Kaba explains about his own Saiyan race, and Raditz is kinda weird to learn that they aren't the true warrior race. Raditz powers down and decides to use this match up as a training lesson. Raditz asks if he knows what a Super Saiyan is. Kaba denies it, never hearing about it. This grows an evil smile on his face as he begins to beat on Kaba. Holding back heavily, he tells Kaba that if he doesn't beat him, he will go to his planet and kill everyone and destroy his planet. Raditz pushes Kaba repeatedly, treating him like trash, until Kaba breaks and transforms into a Super Saiyan state. Raditz gets happy as he tells him to fight back now, or everyone he knows will die, as Kaba charges at Raditz and fights him with everything he's got. Now Raditz at base easily dodges all of his attacks, and with a good punch to the stomach, knocks out Kaba, but he is happy he helped Kaba to transform into a Super Saiyan, as he said that one day he would like to go visit his universe and see his Saiyans. Then we go to see the final opponent of Universe 6, which is the Great Assassin, Hit. Now Raditz isn't over himself at this point, thinking there's no one worth challenging him, and underestimating Hit. He tells Hit that he can have one free shot. Hit shrugs it off and in an instant goes to punch Raditz and return to the spot he was standing at. Everyone is shocked as they didn't see him move, but Raditz is completely knocked out and out of the arena. Turles will be excited to go next as he will not make the same mistake. Turles transformed into his Super Saiyan 4 transformation. Their match will begin. He'll be standing there and Turles will be confused on the basic stance, but will not stop him from charging straight to him. But as soon as Turles rushes towards Hit, he felt a powerful gut punch that sent him back and spilled some blood. Turles tried to shoot some ki blasts his way, but Hit easily dodged them, and at the same time punched Turles repeatedly. Turles began to get upset as he powers even further to reveal his new Super Saiyan 4 Limit Breaker. At this form shocks everyone, as the power succeeds the Super Saiyan God and can even compare to Super Saiyan Blue. Turles would rush Hit once again, but this time Turles can see Hit's movements, but still isn't fast enough to compete as Hit would give a combo strong enough to completely incapacitate Turles. Everyone is shocked at the power of this one opponent, but Vegeta smirks, saying that it's finally his turn to show that he will be able to be the one to stop Hit. Vegeta transforms into a Super Saiyan Blue form, and their fight will begin. He charges at Hit with full force, as Hit dodges most of his attacks. Hit throws a few of his own punches, which knocks Vegeta back, and this pisses him off. At the end, Beerus begins to show worry that he may lose because of this one opponent. He tells Goku that Broly will go next instead of him, which Goku says is unfair, but Beerus said that he is not risking the loss. The fight between Hit and Vegeta continues, and it does not look good for Vegeta, as he has taken more damage, but this angers Vegeta that he cannot land a blow against his foe. He begins to charge up his ki. His body begins to bulk up, his hair gets more spiky, and his hair is more blue. This is his Super Saiyan Blue evolution, as Vegeta unlocked his form earlier in this timeline. He will go to attack Hit, and see Hit's movements, which allows him to manage to get a hit on Hit, and this flow sends Hit stumbling back. Vegeta laughs, seeing that Hit isn't so invincible now. Hit stands there and begins to power up further, and again, with many massive strikes, manages to hit Vegeta, and even with this power up, he has taken too much damage. Before that, he collapsed and couldn't continue the fight. Broly was moved up next, as he was now to face Hit. Broly took this fight seriously, as he thought he would be the only one to win this battle. He transforms into his legendary Super Saiyan state, as their fight will begin. Broly will begin with shooting Ki Blast, but Hit will use his time skip to go to Broly, and Broly will be able to see Hit, but not be able to block him. Hit will strike Broly, but when time resumed, Broly stood there, tanking the punch. Everyone was amazed that Broly took an attack to knock most of their fighters and barely moved. Broly was shocked himself. The punch did hurt him, but he was strong enough to stand his ground. Hit, seeing this, decides to take things more seriously, as no one has managed to take his attacks and not move. Broly sees Hit preparing another attack, and with a mighty roar, begins to power up, managing to shake the planet. Hit would go in for another attack, giving many powerful blows to Broly, but this time, Broly felt them even less. He smiles, saying that the more he powers up, the longer he fights. He only just gets more and more powerful. Hit would try again to use his time skip to punch Broly, but this time, Broly caught Hit's punch, as Hit is left in fear. No one has ever done that to Hit before. Everyone is amazed at Broly's power, and his control in the form that once was a hindrance to him. Broly lifts Hit by his arm and tells him that there's no way he can win now. Broly, just using raw strength, now sucker punches Hit in the stomach, which sends him flying out of the ring, and barely conscious as Universe 7 celebrates their victory. Champa is upset and blames his fighters on why they lost, but then Broly looks over, and even Champa gets fearful of Broly's power. Beerus smiles and takes credit for wanting to train Broly. He tells Whis that maybe Broly is ready to learn another transformation that can rival the gods. Whis warns Beerus that if he does, Broly might be able to beat him and take his title of the God of Destruction, which the other Saiyans catch notice of this and want to push even further into greater power. Beerus would wish for Champa's Earth to be restored, as Zeno would appear, scaring the gods of destruction. He says that he enjoyed this tournament, and really likes Broly and his power, that he might think of holding a tournament with every other universe to go against each other. As Goku would run over to Zeno, begging him to do so, with Beerus yelling at Goku to get away from Zeno. Goku felt somewhat upset that he was the only one who never fought in a tournament, but Whis made it up to him as he focused more on Goku for training during their time training with Whis. He has witnessed something shocking that is hidden inside Goku and wants Goku to reach his full potential. Broly and Vegeta have been sparring together so that Vegeta can get an idea on how strong his new form could be, and how at first it seems like Vegeta might have the upper hand, but not soon after Broly's power soon surpasses Vegeta. Beerus is very interested in Broly as he wants to give Broly an even stronger form, but everyone tries to stop him as right now his power is already strong enough. As we go into future Trunks' timeline, we see a destroyed Earth in an even worse state than it was originally. Trunks tries to fight off the enemy, but it seems lost, as he cannot do anything to the foe. As the smoke clears, we see something of a big build instead of Goku Black. It is Broly Black. In this timeline, as Goku never fought, Zamasu never saw his godlike strength, but instead saw Broly's, and knowing his power, he ended up getting his body. When he first got Broly's body, he completely destroyed that timeline's Earth, and Zamasu even lost control of Broly's power, since he had no experience in controlling the overwhelming power of Broly's ki. After that, he remained in Broly's base form, but even that is much stronger than Goku's base. Black would kill Bulma as normal, and Trunks would barely escape to the past in a worse condition than he was in canon. Our Bulma would call Vegeta, Goku, and Broly to return to Earth, but no one would pick up since everyone is busy with training. So she would reach out to Gohan and Goten. Kid Trunks would also be shocked to see an adult version of himself. Gohan and Goten would arrive to see future Trunks. Gohan is shocked to see him, and Goten would be confused. Future Trunks would wake up to see Gohan and be happy to see him, but quickly explained why he is here. After catching everyone up, Bulma is worried and tries to contact the others, but before that happens, a portal opens up in the sky, and Black would show himself. Future Trunks would prepare to fight, but Gohan will step up, saying that he will fight as he wants to see how his training paid off. He powers up in his base form, and will begin their battle against Broly Black. At first, Gohan has the upper hand, but this is still Broly, so his ki would grow. Gohan being a battle strategist, he knows Broly would keep getting stronger the longer they fight. So Gohan powers up to Super Saiyan God and begins pummeling Black. He shoots multiple ki blasts, trying to end Black before he gets too powerful. Gohan has to hold back as everyone is near the battlefield, and Black uses this to his advantage and tries to attack the bystanders. Gohan would see this and have to protect the others from the blast. Seeing this, Frieza Trunks would power up to join the battle against Black. The kids would decide to do the fusion and transform into their Super Saiyan Blue state. All three of them would attack Black together and try to overwhelm him, but it would not work as Black would continue to grow in strength to the point where he begins to lose control as Black would go into his Super Saiyan state. The fight begins to get out of control, and the Z fighters are having trouble with Black as everyone on Earth senses this battle. Nearby, Nappa sees this and he tries to aid, but it is quickly taken out. Black would charge a ki blast and shoot it at the Z fighters. All three of them try to hold the blast back, but they are struggling, but they feel like the load is lightened as they look to see the three humans, Krillin, Tien, and Yamcha, are helping out, holding the attack back. Black sees this and puts more effort into trying to kill them, but then feels a sharp pain in his back as he turns to see Piccolo, who had just shot a special beam cannon. Black begins to feel a bit overwhelmed and hurt, so he decides to retreat back to the future. Everyone is glad that they managed to push him back. Piccolo and the others asked why Broly was attacking them, but Future Trunks explained everything. Bulma is getting angry that she still haven't gotten a response from the others. Trunks needed to go back to the future, since there's no one to protect the people from Black, so Gohan, Piccolo, Goten, and Kid Trunks offered to go with them. Bulma went against the kids going, but they whined saying that they have to, as they cannot rely on the others, plus they have been training with Beerus and Whis a few times. Piccolo does vouch for them, saying they do have amazing potential that could be useful. The humans say they would try to head to Beerus' planet to warn the others. So the group goes to the future. Gohan is upset about how the future turned out, how there is so much destruction and death, but this motivates him to take out Black. It doesn't take long for the group to spot an explosion nearby, and they all head to the direction to see Black with someone else. Piccolo is shocked as he tells them that this is Akai from a Universe 10. They are all confused on why Akai is helping Black, but Gohan isn't too patient and goes to attack Black, with the others soon following. This leads to an all-out brawl between the 7 of them, with the kids fighting Zamasu and the others fighting Black. Black isn't worried as he grows stronger and believes he can handle the 3 of them. Even with the 3 using combos to attack Black, he grows stronger every passing minute. The kids are putting a fair fight against Zamasu. Goten would charge up a Destructo Disc and throw it at Zamasu while he isn't looking, and it manages to hit Zamasu, which Goten freaks out as they didn't want to kill him, but then they are shocked to see Zamasu unfazed and begins to regenerate. Zamasu explained how he wished for immortality, and now he cannot be killed. As their fight rages on, back on the present timeline, the humans are using instant transmission to teleport from place to place until they arrive at the Kai's planet, and ask them to contact Beerus right away, as it is urgent. They would do so, and the humans would speak with the Saiyans, as they are needed on Earth right away. Everyone will meet up on Earth and will be caught up to speed. Vegeta is shocked that his future son came back. His kid left to the future to fight against a powerful foe, and that their powerful foe is their ally they can't even beat. They're all thinking about how they could beat someone that is too powerful. Beerus hears the whole situation and is very upset with someone messing with the time, but he proposes a solution. He will bring Broly to the time chamber and teach him something that he can easily defeat his evil self, and Broly agrees to go with him without hesitation, while the others can only sit and wait. Back in the future, the Z Fighters begin to lose their edge in the battle. The kids have defused, and now they are trying their best to hold Zamasu off. But even with their training they had with the gods, Goten and Trunks will try to use a combo to damage Zamasu, but no matter how much they hurt him, he just regenerates back to full health. The other warriors are beginning to get pushed back by Black with his immense strength. He blasts Gohan away as he is sent into a destroyed building. Piccolo and Trunks try to fight back, but they know they cannot do much. Piccolo believes this is the time he needs to reveal a new power he recently acquired. He begins to charge up, his body and muscles begin to bulk up. A bright orange aura surrounds Piccolo as he transforms into his orange form. This power lets him fight Black on his own, and this fight is almost evenly matched, with Piccolo having the edge in the battle, but he isn't too sure how long he could hold off Black. Future Trunks will see how the kids are too tired to keep fighting, so he takes on Zamasu. Now, Trunks can't do much against Zamasu, as he already used up most of his powers when fighting Black. Gohan tries to get back up, but he takes too much damage from the attack, as he struggles to stay standing, as all he can do is watch. Piccolo is beating on Black, trying to take the advantage and take out Black soon. Black begins to get angry that he is pushed back, as he loses control of his ki, and his power rises quickly and surpasses Piccolo in short time. His hair spikes up, and body grows exponentially. Black soon towered over Piccolo, as pink aura began to shine. Black has just transformed into his rosé state. With Black being out of control, he begins to beat Piccolo without giving him a chance to fight back. Zamasu stops fighting to see Black losing control, and he grows angry, as he did not like Black losing control as he finds him criminal. Gohan standing there, watching everyone being beaten by Black, and Zamasu seeing his friends and brother being beaten, and he cannot do anything. Feeling useless, he begins to grow angry and charges up his ki. He doesn't want to see the people he has cared for just die, while he sits and does nothing. The more he thinks about it, the angrier he gets. His ki grows stronger and stronger until he reaches a breaking point. Gohan yells out as he gets everyone's attention. His aura is so bright that it blinds everyone nearby. His power begins to shake the earth as he powers up. Gohan in his new state quickly rushes to Black and begins to brawl with him. Gohan is overpowering Black greatly. He knows that Black can't possibly gain enough power to grow stronger than himself, so he does not mess around. Gohan sends Broly flying into the ground. Gohan begins powering up a Kamehameha wave and shooting it at Black. But Black uses his own attack to try to hold off against Gohan's blast, which will start a beam struggle. Zamasu heads towards Gohan, but everyone tries to hold him off, so that Gohan can handle Black. The beam struggle begins to be more evenly matched, until Gohan uses every ounce of his power to push it back, and manages to overpower Black and completely erase him. Zamasu seeing this will get enraged and begin to beat on everyone. They cannot kill him as he is immortal, but everyone has already used up most of their energy. They decide that their best plan is to escape back to the past, but someone needs to stay behind. With everyone being beaten and weak, Gohan decided he will stay. Trunks tries to go against it, as Gohan is only on his base form, but Gohan insists and tells everyone they need to leave now, as he stays behind. The others will leave to the past and regroup with everyone else. Vegeta will be happy to see both of his sons, but when it comes to Goten seeing Goku, he is sad and says that Gohan stay behind so that they could escape. Goku tells Gohan not to worry, as Gohan is strong and can handle himself. As soon as he said that, a portal opened up again, and it was Zamasu, holding a barely alive Gohan. Everyone prepares to fight Zamasu, but Zamasu threatens to kill Gohan if anyone moves. Zamasu prepares an attack that will destroy the planet, but with Gohan's life at stake, no one wants to move. Zamasu laughs, saying that no mortal plan will continue, but then his attack disappears. He is confused, but once he turns around, his face grows a horrified look as he drops Gohan. Beerus is right in front of Zamasu. Knowing what he did and who he is, Beerus grabs Zamasu and completely erases him. Beerus was kinda upset about the fact that Broly has a new form, but won't be able to use it. He also scolds Trunks about messing with time, but lets it pass as he did save him from being killed. Trunks would thank everyone and head back to his timeline to go back to fixing it and making the planet peaceful once again. Gohan recuperates and is glad everything worked out. The other Saiyans did hear about the transformation he acquired during his battle against Black, and were all wondering how strong it is, and trying to ask him to spar with all of them, as Gohan laughs. After the events of Broly Black, everyone continued on with their training and even sparred with Gohan's new form, which did make him up there as one of the strongest. Beerus and Whis called for Goku, as Zeno wanted him to face 3 opponents from another universe, that he quickly needed to create a small trio group of his own. Goku excitedly leaves to go find who his 2 teammates would be, and he instantly knew who to ask. First, he went to Broly, and Broly agreed that he would go with Goku, as they fly off to go look for Vegeta to ask him, but sadly, around this time, Bulma is pregnant with Bra, and Vegeta gives the same explanation that he will pass on this battle and be there for his family. They understand and continue their search. They head over to Gohan and ask him if he would like to go. Gohan will gladly accept the offer, as he wants to try out his new form, even more as he is aiming to perfect the transformation. They head back to Beerus' planet, and they head off to meet off their opponents. They arrive to see that they're going against Universe 9 Fox Trio. The matchups will be the same, but with Broly taking Boo's original place. The first matchup will be really quick, as it will be Broly versus Lavender, and when the fight starts, it's very one-sided. Everything Lavender threw at Broly did nothing to him. This shocked everyone from Universe 9, with a small power-up from Broly turning into his wrathful form. He easily knocked out Lavender without effort, and won the first match easily. Then, we will switch to the next match, Gohan versus Basil. Now originally, this fight was tough on Gohan because Gohan completely stopped training for so many years. But this Gohan never did, and is one of the strongest in Universe 7. Gohan is smart and knows not to underestimate his opponent so quickly. As soon as the match started, Gohan powered up into his beast form, and the overwhelming power stuns everyone as they begin to show fear. Basil can barely move from the immense fear of his opponent. He would try to shoot an attack at Gohan, but Gohan easily deflects it. Gohan is disappointed and thought he was going to have an actual fight worthy of his power, but he powers down. Everyone still fears him, and with a quick swift punch, Basil is knocked away. Zeno so far is somewhat disappointed and expected a more intense battle, but he had faith that Goku will make the next battle really fun. Goku matched up against Bergamo, and their fight will begin. Bergamo, seeing how his brothers failed quickly, he powered up into his giant state quickly and tried to overpower Goku. Goku would transform into Super Saiyan Blue state and try to avoid Bergamo's attacks. Everyone thinks that Goku is the weakest of the trio, and think that Bergamo got this battle. Gohan asks Whis why Goku is holding back. Whis laughed, saying that if Goku wanted, he could impress even the other angels with the new technique he has gotten. This grew curiosity in Gohan. The fight continued on, as Goku continued to play with Bergamo, as he let Bergamo grab him. This let Bergamo grow confident and cocky, saying that he was no match for him, and began squeezing him, telling him he won't stop until he gives up. Goku would scream a few times until he stopped, and Bergamo grew a confused face as Goku began to power back into his space form and closed his eyes, focusing his energy as a bright light would flash and blind everyone to witness something great. All of the gods and angels saw and bowed down to see that Goku activated his Ultra Instinct Sign technique. Bergamo didn't understand what he saw and tried to hit Goku, but no matter what he threw at him, Goku dodged with ease, and with one kick to the stomach, Bergamo was knocked out, as Goku calmly powered down. Gohan and Broly were really impressed with how Goku got a super strong technique. As normal, Toppo would try to start a fight with Goku and called him a villain, but Broly would come up to Goku's defense. And then Toppo would sense something in Broly that is similar to himself, as he then realizes that Universe 7 has fighters in the realm of gods. He challenges Broly into a fight. Zeno would allow this, as he wants to see more fights. Broly can sense Toppo's true power, so he wouldn't hold back. He transforms into his legendary Super Saiyan state, and fights against Toppo. Now Toppo wasn't expecting his strength, and is being pushed back. Toppo begins to put more effort into the fight to match up with Broly, but Toppo senses that Broly's power keeps rising without stopping, as this grows worriness in his eyes. The battle begins to get too intense, as the Grand Priest forces the battle to stop, and then announces that the Tournament of Power and how each universe must make a team of 10 for the tournament. This tournament will be against every universe, and those who loses will get erased. Everyone is shocked with the stakes, but understands what they must do. Everyone heads back to Earth and begins recruiting. Gohan will be the team leader and instantly recruit Goku, Broly, and Vegeta, as they would continue to look for other members. Now, they definitely have enough fighters, but they want the strongest, as this battle determines the fate of their universe. They would recruit Piccolo, and with Goten and Trunks, they would have Bulma contact Jaco to get Raditz and Turles back to Earth to recruit them, and then they needed one more person. All the humans were down to join, but there was only one space left, but Yamcha chimes in, saying that he wants to be the one to go, as he was the other one who stopped the Buddha threat, as he laughs. The other two get annoyed, but can't argue with it, plus currently Yamcha is the strongest one out of the trio, and so we have the full team. Gohan, Goku, Vegeta, Broly, Piccolo, Raditz, Turles, Trunks, Goten, and Yamcha. Since they took less time to recruit the team, they would have more time to train. Whis would use his orb to put Broly, Goku, Vegeta, and Beerus to train longer. Gohan and Piccolo would train the young Saiyans in the hyperbolic time chamber, and Yamcha would train with Raditz and Turles. With the first group, they work on perfecting their forms. Vegeta with Super Saiyan Blue evolution, Broly working on getting Ultra Ego, and Goku trying to perfect Ultra Instinct. Gohan and Piccolo work on making the young Saiyans perfect their God transformations, and even have fusion ready just in case. Yamcha works on staying on his mystic form by trying to combine Kaioken to his highest level. With Raditz and Turles, they work on trying to maintain their Super Saiyan 4 state. When the time comes, everyone emerges with full confidence that they will take the win, but Gohan warns them that every universe may team up, as they have all witnessed a small taste of their godlike powers. While on their way, Gohan works up on a plan of forming groups. Goku, Vegeta, and Broly will stick together and most likely attract the strongest foes in the tournament. Piccolo and Gohan will stick together and nearby the other duo of Goten and Trunks, since they are least experienced. Turles and Raditz will stick by each other as they have created a good bond and became a good duo with their first time in the Galactic Patrol. Yamcha feels left out as he is stranded alone, but Gohan explains that Yamcha can be their wildcard, as people may underestimate him, but his job will be to eliminate as many people as he can, as he focuses on the weaker foes and aids whenever someone needs it. Once they arrive, they can all feel the pressure that the other universes are eyeing them down, but they don't let that break their confidence. Once the tournament begins, everyone follows the plan that Gohan made, sticking to their group and their part. Yamcha being a lone wolf and taking out most of the weak fighters, some that pose threats in canon, but since everyone is way stronger than normal, they will have an easier time. Yamcha even handles some strong opponents like Frost and even goes against Dispo. This opponent would keep Yamcha up, but he doesn't back down, as he gets excited to go against someone with insane speed like him. Goten and Trunks will be holding their own against the Universe 6 Saiyans. With their advanced training and obtaining God Ki, they both are able to deal with all three of the Saiyans with ease, as they underestimate their opponents. Kale seeing Khalifa being hurt, she awakens her legendary Super Saiyan state and begins beating on both Goten and Trunks, which pushes them to go into their God form to knock her away. Khalifa tells Kaba to hold him off for a bit, which Kaba is hesitant as he feels very outclassed, but he goes in just to buy her time. Goten and Trunks are confused as Kaba isn't strong enough to hold him off, but then a bright light appears as they look over to see Kefla. They get upset saying it's cheating, but then they decide to fuse themselves to become Gotenks to make things even. As the two fusions get ready to battle to see who is better. Now, this tournament is a lot different than normal. Most of the universes want to team up on Universe 7 as they are seen to be the most dangerous one, since everyone is a lot stronger than in canon. They are such big threats that Jiren decides to fight early on. Any enemy that comes near him are eliminated with ease. Toppo wants to find Broly, but Jiren says he will take him on, as he's the strongest one on their team, while Vegeta and Goku will take on Toppo. Piccolo would face against the Universe 6 Namekians, and Piccolo would be worried about facing them, even when he learns that all the Namekians fuse into the last two warriors. Piccolo smirks, saying that he is able to reach further heights on his own, with unlocking a powerful form as he powers up to show them his new form, becoming Orange Piccolo once again. His fight against the Universe 6 Namekians is easy on his end, and knocks them out without any problem. On Gohan, he's saving his power, taking on many fighters with ease, until he is striked without his knowledge, and is sent flying as he sees Hit approaching him. Gohan knows about his ability because of Goku. Gohan wouldn't underestimate his powers of freezing time, so Gohan to power up into his beast form, which gets Zeno excited to see all of these powerful people from Universe 7. It even catches the attention of Jiren. Hit gets a bit worried, but continues to fight Gohan. With each time skip, Gohan is able to see any attack and manage to block it. Gohan does sense that this form is draining, and he decides to finish it off quickly before he uses too much of his energy. As he rushes Hit with a fury of attacks, Hit dodges some of them, but the ones that connect hurts him greatly until Gohan knocks him out of the arena. Back to the fusion battle, they shoot out their respective blasts that destroy a lot of the arena, but their battle is fierce. Now with Gotenks, he is playing around and not focusing, since they are greatly overpowered Kefla, and this angers Kefla, but Gotenks doesn't pay attention as Kaba attacks Gotenks whenever he's not focused. Gotenks gets annoyed and begins to attack erratically, and leaves an opening for Kefla to try to take Gotenks down. Gotenks powers up to the max and uses his Ghost Kamikaze attack, and aims it at both Kefla and Kaba, and it creates major explosions that eliminate many fighters. Kaba, Kefla, and the Namekians are eliminated, but it also eliminates themselves, Piccolo, and Yamcha by accident. But Universe 6 gets erased with some other universes. The remaining fighters are Goku, Vegeta, Broly, Raditz, Turles, Gohan, Jiren, Toppo, and Dispo. Raditz, Turles, and Gohan all try to fight Dispo, but they are struggling to keep up with his amazing speed. Goku and Vegeta are having the edge against Toppo, even in his God of Destruction form. Meanwhile, with Broly and Jiren, their fight is immense, with Broly in his legendary Super Saiyan state and Jiren at his full power. The arena is getting destroyed by their battle. For the first time, Broly faces an opponent that is stronger than his legendary Super Saiyan state. His power does keep growing, but he needs a greater boost in order to overpower Jiren. Broly begins to power up way more, and purple aura begins to form around him until the entire arena is overcome by his light, and it shows Broly with Ultra Ego. Jiren is taken aback, and Toppo is too, as this form is similar to his God of Destruction form. The fight rages on between the strongest from Universe 7 and the Universe 11. The overwhelming force from the two can be handled by the others, as Raditz, Turles, Gohan, and Dispo all get eliminated. Goku with Master Ultra Instinct and Vegeta with Super Saiyan Blue Evolution, they hurry to finish off Toppo. While the fight is hard, as they need to worry about not being thrown off by the other fight that is happening, they are able to use their joint force to use a combined blast, the Kamehameha and Gallic Gun, to knock out Toppo out of his form and the arena. Then, it was the strongest trio against Jiren. Now, Jiren was having a tough time against Broly, but with the aid of the other two Saiyans, he is having trouble. He would try to go for the two weaker Saiyans to attempt to take them out, but Broly wouldn't allow it, as he grabs Jiren into a headlock as he yells at Goku and Vegeta to shoot their strongest attack to knock them out. Goku and Vegeta listen as they charge their respective blasts and hit them with full force, completely destroying the side of the arena as both Broly and Jiren were knocked out, leaving Goku and Vegeta, the last one standing, and Universe 7 winning the tournament. Grand Priests look over to them, waiting for them to decide what their wish will be, giving them a rather serious look. They argue a bit, trying to decide what they want to wish for. But Goku gives Vegeta the idea, as he grumbles, but agrees with Goku, as Goku laughs. He looks over at the Grand Priest that he wants all the universes to be brought back, and hearing this, Grand Priest smiles and gives the wish. Everyone is brought back and at peace. The Z-Fighters celebrate their win back on Earth, and are glad that all their problems are over. Or are they? And that is where a full series concludes. Yes, there is more stuff in the manga that we could go over. We'd have to read the manga in order to do that. We're still sort of keeping it on just anime only, so anything that comes out with the anime would be included in the what if, and it might continue on. But for now, this is where the series ends. And again, thank you all for the support and just throughout this whole entire series. I mean, I'm pretty sure this was like a whole year long since we've been making that. And if you have any other ideas that you want us to make, leave a comment down below. Like if you enjoyed, consider subscribing if you want to see more from this channel. And I will see you all next time. Peace.
Mr. Satan!